Thank y'all. Y'all, I'm tired. I've been working 7 days a week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Gretchen. I'm tired, y'all. I ain't gonna need lie to you. But I still want to start these bills, have these bills. So Creek said he was on his way. But before we get started, I'm gonna address this and I'm gonna leave this alone after this. I'm not gonna keep playing with these crazy ass, delusional ass people. They all unstable and shit. You can't blame me because you're unstable. Blame yourself. You're over there acting a whole fool on your channel when you playing the victim now after you victimized somebody. Now you want to make like to the world. I even had one of her trolls come and leave a message on my fucking uh one of my videos that me addressing her. Girl, get your trolls. Get those people in your chat. Don't play with me. That's what I'm saying, y'all. People want these folks to follow them, and it's just a whole lot of unstable ass people that be on the internet following these people that's unstable. I mean, they literally came and left a long ass message on my motherfucking video, and then went back over to her chat. I'm like, you can't make this shit up. These motherfuckers are crazy. You quit stirring the pot, quit goddamn it starting shit, and you won't have that problem. Stay in your lane. I'm not out here kissing ass to make. If I make a couple friends, y'all, that's well good and fine. I'm cool with that. But if I don't, I'm still fine. I have friends in my life outside the internet that I deal with on the regular. So this right here now, I'm not gonna get online and literally kiss their ass and beg people to be my damn friend. What's wrong with folks? She lit over there begging folks. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just not. I'm too old for that. And as far as me addressing and by me hanging with the people over here in these chats, we in here of all ages, not just on the panel. In the chat, we of all ages, and she have the same thing going on over in her chat as well. The hell? That's very contradictory. It's hypocritical is what I'm looking for. It's hypocritical. Because you're doing the same thing. You did a whole live the other day, call yourself addressing everybody with that boy. So yeah. And I got that off my chest. I'm waiting on Creek to come in. I'm waiting on him. I just got off the phone with him while the back chat. He said he was on his way. So hopefully he'll be coming soon so he can start this class. And I guess he'll have it to last about an hour. I guess it's what I think it's what he said about an hour. He said it won't be a long class tonight because we're gonna try to build up this platform so he can come and do his law and civics class. He's gonna talk about various things. But y'all know we don't have a lot of people over here. I don't have a lot of people on this. I should have been building up this room. Yeah, I mean this channel. I've been having this channel for 2 years. So I should have been building this up, but it never really crossed my mind. I just made extra channels because I liked the name, and I just decided to make a channel with that name because I'd already had the original Copper Empress. So he gave Creek a moment. He said he was on his way. Then I'll be able to give me some sleep once this is over. I'm gonna say salute to Bronze Flat Power. Let me mod y'all up. Hey, we definitely waiting on shoot. Oh, okay, there you go. I should have shared it early, but I didn't. I should have shared it. We're gonna have this bill tonight early, but I knew what time. And then when I did set the thing for this, y'all, I noticed it said 9:30. I don't know why. When I did put 7:30, I don't know if it's just something with the yard stream. It says it 2 hours over than what I say. So thank you, Unit One. Thank y'all for coming over. Let me hit Creek. I just told him it was. I said he had less than 20 minutes, so I guess that's why he ain't came yet. I literally got off, ran upstairs, took a shower, and got ready to come down here. Okay. So hopefully we'll have some more people to show up. I see Chief supposed to been going live a couple hours ago, but he's still saying he hasn't had it yet. So hopefully we'll be through by the time he get ready to start his bill. Because I hate to have, I like to respect. Who is it? Hold on, y'all. Let me see what this is. You can go upstairs or something. Like yeah, like I. Yeah, we have 10 people in the. It says 10 people is listening. So y'all, let me hit Creek up again. Let me see where he at, so we can go on and get started. Okay, y'all. He said he's on his way. I like a big salute to everybody in the high vibes. Salute to everybody in the chat. Creek said he's on his way. He'll be here in a minute. High vibes, Colleen. Salute, Chad, Omega. High vibes, Gretchen. Salute, Uni. We are more Reed and Bronze Flat Powers. Thank y'all for coming over. He said he's on his way, y'all. He's on his way. Wagwan. Okay. Salute. I can't pronounce it. Dr. Quador Tusky Doran. Charge it to my heart. I mean, charge it to my man, not to my heart. If I messed your name up, but salute, my brother. Thanks for coming. I need to get my pen and paper ready myself. Waiting on him to come in, y'all. We didn't get to have class last week, y'all, because my other channel was shut down, flagged. So we didn't get to have but hopefully we'll get this get this channel built up. How about sis? How about Seeker? Hopefully get this channel built up and we can have law classes. We can do it on both of them, but I won't be able to go back over to the other channel to January. So we'll get this channel built up. How's everyone doing tonight? I feel good, but I'm just tired, y'all. I work 3 jobs, y'all. 7 days a week is kicking my ass. So soon this class is over, I'm out for the count. So I gotta be back up early in the morning. Let me mod you up, sis. Mod up everybody. This is a new channel. Let me get everybody a mod. Salute, Keith. Y'all know I like to give everybody ranches. hmm. Okay. Salute, sis. Salute, Southwind. What time Chief going live over there, Southwind? Do you know? Have anybody said what time he going live? I did. I had already had said it, and I didn't know if salute, sis. Salute, Miss Letha. I didn't know. Hopefully this ain't gonna be no more than an hour, y'all. So hopefully by the time Chief go live, we'll be on our way out the way. Eesh. Lord have mercy. Come on, Creek now. We don't want to keep the people waiting. There's another guy I be following. He has some real good information as well on this stuff too. So, your spare time, you can listen to some of his stuff because it, coincides with what Creek is teaching. And it's just like having, like, if you want to verify if it's, the information, you can compare the information or whatever. Power and prosperity, you, Southwind. The chat is slowly building up. I shared it on my community page, so hopefully people will see it over there and they'll come on over. Peace to you, Keith. Yeah. It's already 7 hours. I guess he got 3 minutes. He must be coming in exactly at the time, 7:35. I told him give me a few minutes and I get some people in the room so he can come on and start. We got 11 people in here. I guess some people just peeking. I guess. Ozan, bro. Man, trust me, it's everywhere. What I miss, Seeker? I done missed something. Yeah, y'all. It's a lot of stuff. The energy is so high right now. That's the reason why a lot of people at each other because the energy is high. I know we shouldn't, gravitate, but sometimes this energy be so strong it makes you gravitate to it. Because this is October, y'all. It's a lot of stuff going on. They're doing a lot of rituals out here this time of year. Yep. I'm gonna share this on my Facebook. I guess people from over there, hopefully they'll see it. They might come over, but we got a lot of people over there still asleep. They don't know nothing about this, no way. They still think that the government that they watching on TV is the real damn Holyfield. They don't even know that this shit is the Matrix. They literally arguing and debating with about Ice Cube going to talk to Trump. These people don't even realize that the president is already selected, not elected. This is why they do rituals around this time of year because they try to get our people to participate in this fictitious ass realm that we're living in, this matrix. So this is how they get them to participate with their rituals and shit. You get them all fired up. All you got, especially among our people, all you got to do is say he's racist, they racist. But we know for a fact Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is. They have a full-blown record of it. You didn't start hearing Trump was racist until he started running. And just because the white degeneracy is running rapid in America, and they were supporting him because they didn't want Obama, didn't know he was one of them too with their dumb asses. So the reason why they support Trump is because he looked like them. And that was the whole main reason why. They didn't want nobody else of a darker hue in office. So, of course, they're going to rally up behind Trump. At one point in time, until I really started digging into it, I didn't care for Trump either. I didn't. Because I didn't care for him to say he was racist. I just didn't care for him because he sounded dumb all the goddamn time. And it was very, just irritating to hear somebody in that position but sound like he got multiple personalities and like he was somebody had autism. Yeah, suppressing the info, yep. And see, that's what they have to do, Colleen. They have to do all this. They want people to think that the Democrats and the Republicans that's in there now are not us. We're the Republicans. So therefore, that's not our government. That's both parties is their government because it's not ours. We're not supposed to participate in their shit. We're supposed to be building our own shit, our own country, because this is our land. We're supposed to have our own government. Period. We shouldn't be participating in they fuck shit. And even when we get back control of our shit, we still have to vet. We still gonna have to before we just be putting anybody into play. Everybody don't belong over somebody. Everybody don't belong in no office. You know, you have to watch who you put in place to represent you. Just because they come to you with a smile doesn't mean that they're there to represent you. Because as we have seen in the past, look how many people that look like us that's really in these offices, but they don't represent us. And I don't believe, even if they knew who they was, still don't think they'll represent us. Because you have to think, this thing that they call the mighty dollar, they love that more than they love their own relatives. You know, their own close kin. Salute, Kiwanis. So we're looking at people that just because we look at skin color, that's been our downfall. Because we feel if you have a darker hue, you gotta be for your people. And oh, how wrong you are. You are so wrong. Notice the person that's closest to you will fuck you up before for your enemy will. I always notice that. When something happens to you amongst your peers, it's because it's always somebody that's in your circle that's closest to you. Just think about who all did you get into it with. Most of the time you wind up arguing and bickering with people that you know that's near you. Let's just keep it a buck. How you argue with people that you really don't know? Salute T1 production. So we have to take all this in account. We are just, you know, as a people, we tend to gravitate towards the skin color. We don't care what they represent. We just know that they're melanated people, or as they want to say, black. And we figure, oh yeah, he got to be thinking like I'm thinking, because we all the same. So that you know, if the oppressor, his foot is on his neck too, that's how we think. Shit. Oh, how we wrong? Here, a lot of these people in bed with the oppressor. And these are just facts. They don't care that people sell their mama house shit for the mighty dollar. For this mighty debt note, because it ain't a dollar. It's a debt note. And it's sad. It's really sad. I'm trying to find you, Kiwanis, so I can mod you, but I don't see you. I modded up T1 production, but I don't see Kiwanis on my phone to mod him up. And this is crazy, but I see you on the screen. This is crazy. How are you on my screen, on my laptop, but you're not on my phone? Unless my phone is moving mighty slow. Where you at, Creek? I got everybody in here. You called me yesterday to remind me about class. Now, where you at? Kiwanis, can you say something else in the chat for me so I can find you? Because I don't see you on my phone at all. What the? I still don't see you, Kiwan. And I should be able to see you. I don't see you in my chat. This is weird. I thought it was just me, Colleen. I see your message, but I don't see Kiwana. I see Elboria. Salute, Elboria. I still don't see Kiwanas. This is weird. This is weird. And I seen what Colleen spoke to him. I don't know how to. Let me see if I can do it from here. No. I'm trying to. Let me see if I put you. And then you across my screen though. Y'all okay? Hold on. I put you across my screen, but it's not showing on my phone. Maybe it's my phone that's got the. I don't know what's going on. Because you're not even on my screen on my phone. But you're on there. I don't know what's going on. Because you're not even on my screen on my phone. And I don't even see you on my phone. But you're on there. What's going on? You on? I put your banner across my screen, Kid Wonders. Whenever it shows, hopefully it'll show up after the I don't know. I don't. This is weird. It shows it's not showing up at all. And from my computer, I can't add you as a mod for some reason. How do you do that? Let me go over here and see this. This don't help over here either. Now, Creek, you 10 minutes late. But yeah, what I was saying was, a lot of people, maybe it's so. I know, but you see it on. Do you see where I put your banner across there, Kiwanis? But I don't see it on my. Okay, now it's on my phone, but I still don't see you. I don't see you in the chat. That is so weird. Let me turn my phone off and then restart my phone. But yes, a lot of people, we want to play a part of this fictional government. We don't understand that this government is not our government. But we can't. It's hard to explain that to those who still have the veil over their eyes, because our people believe that if they put Kamala Harris and Biden in, because they've been voting Democrat for so long, they don't understand that Democrats is the ones that took their identity. They don't understand that Democrats is the one that got their land and keeping the borders open to keep letting all the foreigners in, taking all their jobs, and they offering them. They ain't giving them the land. What they're doing, because they know that they're foreigners. They know they can never own the land. So what they do is put property on the land and sell the property that's on the land to the people. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the land that they're selling them. They selling them what's on top of the land. This is how fictitious these people are. So our people actually believe that if they participate, that they're gonna get Trump out, because people telling them that Trump is not for them. And I don't trust neither party. Just I know of the lesser two evils, but I don't trust neither party, because we all know they part of the Jesuits. It is what it is. Here go Creek, y'all. Here go Creek.
Yeah, here I go. Peace. Lead up.
All right. I'm on mute.
Okay, so we just doing a continuation, y'all. We just navigating through commerce together. For those that have been rocking with me since day one, and some of my regular members and clients, and those that have really that are anticipating a Patreon site. We haven't set it up to go yet, but sometime within, I'm hoping by the end of next week, we should have that set up. On that Patreon site, of course, you can make level donations. Of course, with each donation, you can get either some of the documentation of some of the paid download sites, some of those documentations, as well as consultation services and other service and products too, as well. So we will get a chance to announce that sometime next week. In the transmission of having that Patreon site set up. That way we can get exclusive, documentation as well as footage. And we work closely with those who want to work with the process. Having said that, we've been talking more about the statutory declaration, what it is, and how to claim your status, your citizen status. But I wanted to backpedal a little bit because before all that, you really need to have a understanding, and during the time you have the statutory declaration done, excuse me, uh, you need to have understanding of contracts. Okay, so that's very important because uh, you know what I have proposed to a lot of people is upon learning that you're Indian and you do your genealogy. Okay, you want to be able to file that and have it recorded properly on the record with the Secretary of State, the County Recorder's Office, and Deeds, or the Chancery Department. Okay, depending on what state you're living in. Once you've accomplished that, you've made a notice, a public notice, okay, and a record, okay, as well to say that you are Indian, and you have also made an adverse claim on your double authentication to say that you're not black, and a statutory declaration that basically backs up your claim of Indian status alongside with that organizational chart and some attachments and exhibits to go with that as well. Once you do that, you want to be able to put together some type of ID or identification for yourself. Uh, the one that I recommend in doing that, because you can virtually come up with any type of ID, you want to be able to contact a third party organization. The one that I refer to is called the World Service Authority. They will print you out a document in something, a passport or ID, depending on which one you want to order. With doing so, this won't be a United States legal um, passport, but it will allow you to have that, and then you can do what I have done is a notarized statement, okay, showing that you just take a picture of the passport, front and back and the cover, okay, on one side of the paper, then take up the whole paper, and on the other side, or somewhere on the top or the bottom, you want to state your claim as who you are, your identification, saying you would if you was with, contracting with the BMV. Okay, you put all that information there, and then you go get it notarized. Now, the good thing about that is when you do get that notarized, the affidavit of identity, uh, you have to use that same ID to get it notarized with an officer of the court. Now, the beauty of that is once you get it once you get it notarized, okay, then you can take that to the Secretary of State and get it certified, okay, which will give you the full faith and credit backup claim that they give you with the certification, whether it be apostille or certification up under the Secretary of State, which will back you up for every full faith, will back you up with the full faith and credit clause, okay, that will be active law in any court around the country or in the state of where you are domiciled, okay?
Question. What about a lot of these places are not open right now? So what?
You can do it all online. Everything can
Okay.
be done online now. And it has been online. Everything is. They're telling you it's shut down, but everything is done online. You can get your certificate of live birth online. You can get your authentications done online. Okay, you have to go to the website for the Secretary of State in your state where you domicile, and they will give you a list of instructions on how to prepare the envelope, mail it to the address. You want to make sure that you put sufficient amount of funds in there, which will probably be a check or money order, and they'll notarize the document and send it back to you. Now, a lot of times what you do, if you're trying to get your double authentication for the first time, you want to send a self-stamped envelope. Okay, I already have the pre-postage on it already. Okay, and it's just the postage on the stamp. Okay, you're going to put that inside the envelope as well as your cover letter for your authentication. Okay, because you got to have a cover letter to go with your authentication, because it's going to indicate what country you're giving it to. Now, I tell people all the time, it doesn't mean that you're going to a country. They're asking because the process of authentication, when you go to the authentication department, is specifically for those who are going, either traveling to another country or taking documentation from there to go to, present it to another country. Okay, where you go and when you go or if you go, it's up to you. That's not really none of their business, but they're going to ask you what country it's going to, and you have to give them a country. If you don't, then they're not going to authenticate the document. Okay, So that's part.
Okay, that would be. Can you explain? What you call the countries? Those are
You got some of the part of the Hague and some of the non-Hague. Now,
okay.
now, a lot of people see the debate about people. They're trying to figure out which one should it go. Okay, I say do both. A lot of when you go back to the old accounts of the online redemption movement, creditors and debtors, UCC process. Okay, what is that? Redemption code manual and all that. You know, people learn this process through that. Uh, I would, like I said, I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. I would say the redemption manual book needs to be updated. At one point in time, it had a lot of valuable information. At this point in time, I would say less than 50% of any of that is even valuable information now. Okay, and a lot of it will just get you hung up in court, and it's because the courts have already took pre-measures to already know a lot of this stuff been coming in and out through Moors and other people who trying to stake claims and do this and don't know what they're doing, and then getting there talking about, you know, this is all in. We got the deed to the property. We're gonna put a lien on everything, which is really not the correct process or the rules of engagement. That doesn't work when they already have a line of policy and procedures already in order to accept yours with no type of contractual agreement. Okay, so that doesn't. That's really here. It's literally not cynical to even do that. But what you want to do is you want to go to the website. Okay, Secretary of State, and I can just off the top of my head because I got a few of them that I've been dealing with here personally, just doing clients and stuff, and they're pretty much all the same. They're going to just tell you to send it in, send your document that needs to be authenticated. In this case, it would be the certificate of live birth. You're going to send that in, the money order, and the cover sheet. Now, the state that you want to have on there, if you're going to do both, you've got two, great. You can do both, one Hague, and any party of the Hague. You can get online and give you a whole list of countries that are part of the Hague, and it will give you also the non-Hague. Now, in a basic, lame sense of what I'm trying to explain to you, Hague just means in their jurisdiction, okay? If you want to take it outside of their jurisdiction, then it would be considered to be non-Hague, which would be a certification, okay? So Hague is apostille, which would be in their jurisdiction, and the non-Hague will be considered to be foreign, which would be outside of your jurisdiction, and you'll get a certification with that and not an apostille, okay? So you got an apostille and a certification. They both have seals. The cover, the return seal that you get back is the same, but the document or the language is a little different. You have to, it almost have to look real closely to even see that it looks different. Now, they're both backed up by the full faith and credit, and you can take it to any justice of peace or any court in the country or in the state or in that domicile. But the only difference is, I'll give you an example of a non-Hague country and one that is a Hague. I usually send people to the United Kingdom. United Kingdom is in part, or I'm sorry, in whole, a minister. I would say a minister. They are, I would consider to be a beneficial owner of the company United States, not the land, okay? Because it's not a country. You got to remember, the United States operates as a country in the public, okay? And they operate as a corporation in the private, okay? I'll say it again. The United States operates as a country in the public, and in the private, they represent a corporation, okay? And for the corporation, you got members. For the country, you got citizens, okay? So citizens or members are very synonymous, but they're donating to two different things, okay? Now, the corporation, what we're really dealing with is a corporate structure, okay? And it's set up like a corporate. For any time you have a corporation, you have a president, you have a CEO, which the CEO is the president or the executive command, right? Which would be the top dog. Because they are registered as a nonprofit and for profit, but let's talk about their nonprofit, okay? Which deals with benefit programs, Social Security administrations, anything that's going to give a list of different activities and nonprofit organization, nonprofit corporations. I'm sorry, nonprofit corporations that would need to be connected to either foundations that would donate money to these corporations. Now, in short, what that all means is really basically is that they're receiving funds through your tax benefit, okay, through the working program in order to fund these programs. So you're basically paying for it, okay? So that's why they say, oh, my tax money is going here. Well, yeah, you basically paying for it, okay? And what the United States is doing is just administrator, okay? They're just an administrator. An administrator is nothing more than a secretary, okay? Or somebody that just handles the files, handles the paperwork, you know what I mean, and maneuvers the things in the office for the boss so the boss can go handle other work and business, okay? So the United States is an administration for the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom is the boss, considered to be, right? They're the ones that have created a treaty and a contract, okay, with the federal government to administer on behalf of the corporation, United Kingdom, to tax the people here with a feudal system, okay, which is only going to tax the work and is going to claim the person as property, okay, and they're also going to claim, by claiming you as property, they're also going to claim your work and any interest that you have, okay, and it can also easily be seized and turned over to the crown. So when you go to the courts, they automatically put a seizure on you. And anything you got, any property you got, whether you're driving a mobile, or, you know, some type of car or automobile, most times you're driving something, you get pulled over. Any of that property, including the car, would be considered to be the state's at that point in time because of the seizure. It all starts with a registration, which would be the original contract. So you definitely will want to do something to adverse that, or you may be opposed to registering. A lot of people like to put on notice. Like, you know, or instead of or incorporating, they will be unincorporated. Okay, so that's just some examples right there. But before we go into the meat of what a contract is, you know, I just wanted to spell out. Well, first of all, let me just go ahead and share my screen, make sure we get on here so you can see what I'm doing on here. Y'all can just throw a 1 up in the chat. Let me know that you can see the screen. All right, see share. Okay, it should be sharing right about now. Just go ahead and throw the 1 up in there if y'all can see that. If not, then I'll give y'all a little chance to get on here so we can get to the part where y'all can see the screen. Okay. Let me go ahead and look at the chat, see what y'all got up in here. Okay, excellent. I see some 1s already, so that means the screen is up. Okay, and we're going to read what a contract is. Now, this was the document that really gave me more than 50% of my information when it came to contract law, other than going to, you know, of course, going to the law library and, you know, reading books and doing reference, cross-reference, and sources too as well. But this was the one, and I still go back and read this. This is like the holy grail for contracts. It tells you exactly about contracts. It tells you how to accept contracts and the correct way without being in default in the manner that you should. And it should be 3 ways to do that. We're going to read it, and then I'm going to ask you again to make sure that you recap that and get that, because it's very important. Because the thing is, once we've already done our declaration, we've done our double authentication, we did, you know, statutory declaration and a statutory claim. Okay, and statutory claim makes you alive instead of dead at sea. Okay, it unlocks the Cesta KVI. That goes to the Treasury Department to let them know that you will be using your account and that you're alive and not dead, and the representative for the decedent and whoever you have as the executor of your estate. Okay, that's what the statutory claim does. Okay, very powerful document. Those 2 documents, and you got your certificate of live birth. You put those all together and you file them with the county recorder's office. Now, upon doing so, now people are like, okay, so I'm free now. Well, you're free. Well, you was already free mentally. If you already thought you was free, slavery is a state of mind. So of course, you know, you have to be able to exercise that part of your mind as knowing that you're free. Okay, and then being able to see how they have you in bondage, and then being able to use your mind because your mind is free. Now you can be able to assess the things that, you know, it was connected to paperwork or some type of bond that you have with either an employer or some type of jail, probation, or child support type of thing. take that free mentality that you just discovered that yourself and made yourself free mentally. Now you can do it physically. Okay, so that's how it goes. You got to do it mind, body, and soul, right? So once you do that, now the thing is you have to be able to contract and deal with this government on a corporation level. Okay, since a lot of us already don't want to participate in the citizen program, okay, as being a citizen, because they have you listed as a citizen by default for any of those that have a certificate of live birth. Okay, you can always denounce the claim of being a citizen, and yes, it doesn't mean that you just because you repatriate your citizenship, okay, that you still can't participate and you still can't use a straw man, or you can or not even use your social security number. Because a lot of people feel like they have to get rid of the number, and the number is no more. It's not the mark of the beast. The social security number is no more than an account. That's it. And I'm gonna show you where it's the account number. And I'm gonna show you how I use the social security number. Okay, but the social security is not mine. Okay, so let's read a little bit so you can get some understanding before we get into the documentation. It's not gonna be a real long build. We're gonna do a Q&A for towards the ending. Anybody have any questions on any of the documents that I have put up, and then we can go from there. Okay, so what does accepted for value mean? Okay, many people use the phrase accepted for value every day without knowing what it means and why it is so powerful. You have the right to make personal choices that affect your commercial affairs. You can be in control, you can be controlled. Accepted for value is one means of being in control. Okay, it's a free publication offered to those who seek the truth by the American Connection. Okay, right, so we got copyright there, the author information there. Okay, and I'm just going to read it all the way down. Okay, so we got table of contents, the introduction. First after that, the second part of that is going to be value. Okay, and then we're going to discuss about what value is. And it's very important to understand what accepted for value is. And I know a lot of people are probably familiar with the accepted for value, or commonly known as the A for V process. And a lot of that is diluted. It works. Okay, I use that. I'm going to show you how I use it in my documentation. Like I did so with last week's conference call. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. I'll show you one of the bills, how to convert it to a money bill. Okay, so the next one after that is going to be constitutional oaths. Okay, because it's very important to understand the Constitution itself is a contract. Okay, and it doesn't give you rights. Okay, it what it does, it regards your your God protected rights. Okay, so you already have rights by God. God has already declared you to be free. He didn't make you a slave. Okay, so you're free on this planet. However, you have to be able to, we have to be able to have a line of respect. Okay, and because of that, we have to have protocol. Okay, protocol is just a provision that you set forth for how people do things on a most common way and basis, in a way that we all agree. Okay, without having to override somebody else's personal space or personal privacy. Okay, so we have to have rules, right? Okay, so offer and acceptance. And we just talked about acceptance and value, or one or two of the things that come together to make a component. Okay, so we got to talk about value and we got to talk about acceptance too as well. Offer and acceptance, okay, and a counter offer. Okay, so now you know how to accept a contract and give it back. Now, these are the contents. I'm just going to read some of the first 3, 4 because we're not going to get through the whole thing, and because it's like let's see how many pages we got up here on that. 56 pages. I say we should do about 10 pages on the read, or at least till we get to the part where it says accepted for value, because we want to know about the A for V process and how it pertains to a contract, and how we can use contracts on a daily basis to contract, and do commercial processes and claims, right? Okay, so these are just some references of books right here that's free. I don't know if they're still available now. This document is more than 10 years old, but it's still very vital. It's very, very, very influential, and something that is necessary. Okay, definitely got to know how to accept for value. Okay, so what does accepted for value mean? Accepted for value, A for V, is at the foundation of remedies available for commercial demands made by the United States. So many peoples have attempted to use it to close accounts in the United States. Even so, no one has a good explanation as to what A for V means. Here is an attempt to clarify. Introduction. The Uniform Commercial Code, which is commonly known as the UCC, okay, in short. In Article 3, that deals with negotiable instruments is one source of explanation. When you go to Article 3, for those who don't know, the UCC Commercial Code is basically the law for contracts and business. Okay, so if you got a business, it's going to pretty much fall up under the terms and agreements of a commercial code. And commercial codes are universal. Okay, so when you go, whatever the rules here for the UCC, it's going to be the same thing in England or in Asia or one of these countries like that. It might be encoded different, okay, and it might have a different name, but it's going to be incongruent and it's going to be a standard, okay. So what we do is they keep a business standard. So there's a certain way we do business, certain rules and certain terms and how we do things, okay, how we handle money. So you're going to see all that in the UCC. It tells basically how to regulate a business, okay, and business law and processes, okay. So Article 3 deals with negotiable instruments. Negotiable instruments would be something like a promissory note, bill of exchange, or money order, so forth. Okay, so going on, this is negotiable instruments is one source of explanation. Article 8 deals with investment securities, okay? Now, for those who don't know, security is something that is yours and is protected, okay, in so many words, right? It's something that you have as a security, but it also could be, security has a wide range of what it could be. It could be an asset, okay, and security is something that you put on top of that asset to protect it. And it could be backed up, okay, like it could be backed up with money. So it's secured. Secured means just another way to say, hey, it's safe. Okay, so I got a house, which is, and I have an interest in the house. I put money in the house. The house is an investment, so now it becomes an interest. I'm sorry, it becomes an interest. Okay, and then from there, it becomes an asset. Okay, something that's going to pay me money, right, or something that's going to bring me some type of value. Okay, so now I got this asset. Okay, but if I owe people for money or say, a creditor or something, or I'm in debt, the first thing they're going to come after is that asset, right? To liquidate the asset so they can, make the money. So they're going to seize it or whatever the situation is. But what you could do to protect that is make it a what? Security. Okay, it's secure. Okay, and that's just one of the formalities of what a security is. It's something that you have, and it's either backed up or it's either protected by something that you have that's either of equal value or something that's going to put a claim on that. Okay, so that it'll make it so that the person that's using it is for that person, or the people is listed as beneficial owners for that security. Okay. So when you go into the Article 8, it really kind of dives in on that more into what a security is, how to handle securities, how to transfer securities from one person to another, so forth and so forth. Okay, so that's Article 3, Article 8, UCC. Article 9 deals with secure transactions, same thing, kind of similar, but going more and digresses more into the more process stage of how to process security. Is going to be Article 9 in the UCC, okay, and deals with transactions. Okay, in addition to opinions written by judges to shed light on our remedies, all three of these articles held a key to understanding commercial set-off. Okay, set-off would mean to just basically total the balance out. Okay, I don't owe anything. It's set-off, right? The UCC had an overhaul in 2000. 2000, a lot of people started doing the UCCs now. But the major principle remaining the same. The changes appeared to be to the sections that deal with secure transactions, which is Article 9, and some with investment securities, which is Article 8. But negotiable instruments are what led to those securities. Okay. All right. So the phrase "accepted for value" has little coverage in the code books or in court opinions. So nobody really has broke down what A for V means, all right? It's just something that everybody does, they use it, but it's not nowhere you can just go and just read it, okay? That's basically what they're telling you. A better understanding of commercial terms, accepted for value, and how they relate to instruments in general would be a good place to start. Okay, so acceptance. Now, the definition of acceptance right here in red, and they're giving you the definition in yellow, okay? an agreement either by express act or implication from conduct. Now, they're highlighted. They look at it, see what they got in bold. They got express act, okay, and they have implication from conduct, okay? Anytime you do something express, it means it's done fast, right? Express means speedy, okay? So it's done right there on the spot, okay? And implications could be an example of express. Let me give you an example of express act. You in court, they ask you, how do you plead? You say guilty, okay, so they write it down. Then they say, do you understand? You say yes, so they say, okay, you understand. What they're doing is that what that judge is doing is they're putting together an express contract based on your line of questioning, okay, to take your consent and put it on a paper that basically says you agree to these terms. They gave you the terms, you agree to it without you even knowing. She done wrote down a whole contract, and that's an example of express contract. Express contract is done right then and there. Okay, I asked you a lot of questions. You answer. That's all I need you to do is answer. I wrote it down. I got your consent. We just created a contract. It's an express contract. Okay. Or you can have what's called an implication from conduct. Implication from conduct means, hey, I went to McDonald's. You came to McDonald's to do what? If you didn't take that right going in there and going to the bathroom, then hey, it's expected that you coming in there to either use that free Wi-Fi or you coming to buy something to eat. You're not finna come into McDonald's to shoot dice, okay? Because it's implied that anybody that comes to that door is doing what? How may I help you? You know, welcome to McDonald's. Would you like to, see the menu? Blah, blah, blah. Okay? So it's implied. Implied means without saying that you're going to come in and just buy something. Okay, so an implied contract would be a perfect example would be you walking into an establishment where there's a business and like Walmart or McDonald's for that matter, and those contracts would imply that you're coming in to do business and you're going to your transaction is going to be something that's either on the menu or you're going to make a purchase of something that's in the store, right? So it's implied contract, okay? So you can do that with implications. Now, to these terms in an offer so that the binding contract is formed. So when you come in to McDonald's, you already started a contract. When you ordered some food and they gave you a receipt, the contract is sealed. You got to bill a label. Okay, the receipt is going to be the bill of lading. It's going to have an itemization or breakdown of what you paid for, how much you paid for, what you paid, how you paid, and they're going to give you a receipt and they're going to keep a copy too as well, right? Okay, so that's the seal of a contract for them. An acceptance modifies the terms. Okay, if an acceptance modifies the terms or adds new ones, it generally operates as a what? Counter offer. Okay, so you come in, say you want to go to. Let me try to use a good example for terms. Okay. So you want to rent a car. Say you want to buy a car. Okay, you buy a car, and okay, they're selling it for $10,000 cash. Right, it's a nice, fairly new car, Maserati. Okay, $10,000 cash. Boom. So you go in, you got 9,000. Okay, you ain't got 10,000. They want 9,000. Right. So the thing is, now you want to negotiate that down to the amount that you have. Okay, so that means that the terms of the agreement of however the contract is set up is going to have to be modified because they already had it set at a certain price. They had a deal, they had an arrangement. You come in, they say, hey, you know what? Well, we were willing to accept your offer. Okay, we're going to take it for the 9,000. Boom. Now they come in, it went from 10 to 9. You just changed the terms of the agreement. Okay, and that is a counter offer. They made an offer. You made an offer on top of an offer. That's a counter offer. Okay. All right, so that's how you accept a contract, okay? Accepting can be expressed. Remember, it could be implied, or you can also do what you consider to make an offer and which you consider to be a counter offer, okay? Which is still an acceptance, okay? You accepted it with your terms versus their terms, okay? All right. Now, what you got is accept. Accept means to what? To receive with approval or satisfaction, okay? So you got something, you're happy with it. Okay, you bought a brand new radio offline. Okay, it was $50, whatever. You got it on sale for $100. Okay, you accepted that. They got the money, you got it, you accepted it, right? You got it. That's an acceptance. Hey, you got that radio. I mean, they don't care if the eject button don't work. Okay, you accepted it. That's it. Okay, now I can say or satisfaction. Now, okay, you worked it, you got the radio and everything worked on it. You satisfied. Okay, so your satisfaction showed that it was accepted. Right? Okay, so That's how you accept the contract. Okay, to receive with intent to retain. Okay, so you received with intent to retain it. So they gave you your social security card. You did what? You put it in your wallet, right? The social security card. You intend on keeping that mug. If that's not the case, why you put it in that wallet? Because you know you when you need it, and you plan on using it, you're gonna take it out of that wallet. You're gonna have it somewhere where it's gonna be secure, somewhere where you know it's gonna be safe and sound. When you need to have it, it's gonna be right there. Okay, that's with the intent to retain it. Okay, so you're gonna keep it, right? Same thing with your birth certificate, right? Okay. Now acceptance. Okay, you gotta accept acceptance at first, and accept, and then you have acceptance again. But this definition is gonna take you somewhere a little different. Okay, the taking and receiving of anything. It says taking. Okay, so I give you a piece of paper, or let's say I give you a warrant for your arrest. Okay, and I'm a sheriff. You take that paper. Okay, you just took something. That's the taking. Okay, and receiving of anything in good part, and it, as if were a tacit agreement to a preceding act, which might have been defeated or avoided if such acceptance had not been made. Okay, so let's break this down. Okay, so the taking or receiving of anything. Okay, that part is a no-brainer. Okay, and it says in good part. So in good part. So basically, whatever was done before that, it led to you taking it, so it was in a good way. Okay, it wasn't like somebody had that gun and said, "Man, take that pill, and put it in your head." That's not good. That's not going to be anything in good part. Okay, because they had used some type of duress or some type of threat in order to get you to take it. Okay, then that's not going to be in good part. Okay, so you had to take it and receive it in anything in good part, and as it were a tacit agreement. Tacit agreement is you didn't say anything, but you agreed because you took it. Okay, you didn't say anything. You didn't say it was bad and good. Listen, it wasn't no ill effects when I gave it to you. I said, here you go. Okay, it could be a pizza delivery, right? And it had anchovies on it. Maybe you hate anchovies, but you took that box. It was smelling good. Okay, and the taking of the box. Okay, and he had good intentions of giving it to you. He thought maybe it was what you wanted, even though he might have been wrong on one of the toppings. Okay, you received it. The intent to receive it. You didn't say anything. When you open it up, you seen them. When you open it up, you might have seen that it had one of the wrong toppings on there. Maybe it was anchovies or something. Okay, but if you just pick the anchovies off, okay, they never heard nothing back from you. So you know, the people at the office, they probably say, "Hey, we delivered our last pizza for the day. They got it. They were satisfied." Maybe you wasn't satisfied, but you know what? You never said anything. So by you taking the pizza, not saying anything, you took the toppings off, and you still enjoyed it. Hey, that's a tacit assent. You never said anything. Okay, you took it. It was in good faith. You didn't say nothing. Okay, so through your and because of that, there was an agreement that was made based on you not saying anything. Okay, and maybe you didn't mind taking them off, so you just said forget about it. Okay, to a preceding act. Preceding act was okay. So proceed from one place to the other, and a list of a number of things took place. Okay, so the guy came in with the pizza. This took place. Then I took that. He gave him the money. Okay, so that would be a preceding act, okay, which might have been defeated. Okay, so something wasn't gonna go right. If it was defeated, that means something wasn't going right, or it would have been avoided. We say, you know what? I opened up the box before I got it, had the anchovies back and sent it back. Okay, if such acceptance had not been made. Okay, so they were saying, hey, you accepted it, so you didn't take it back. Okay, you took it, even though it was wrong or right, and whatever the thing is, the whole intent of the whole thing from the inception of the contract was to give you a product and a service. Okay, they served you with a product, you was happy, didn't have anchovies on it. Had anchovies on it. You took it off, you still enjoyed the pizza. The agreement was, so if the agreement was met, they got paid, you ate, everybody's cool. Okay, so you accepted it when you took it. You didn't say anything. That's tacit consent. Okay, so those are ways you can accept or accept through an acceptance of a contract. Okay, now we're gonna get to the value part in just a minute and read down to probably the second or third one, because I'm not gonna hold y'all long. It's already late. For those at Eastern Standard Time, it's already 9:23. So I want to get done somewhere between about 9:30, 9:45. It's about a good time, the maximum time, and then we can go with some of the documentation, because that's going to be another 10, 15 minutes. Okay. So a naked acceptance waives remedy. I say it again, a naked acceptance. Okay, an acceptance with nothing on it. Okay, it's just a clear acceptance. waives remedies that are available by waiving defects in the instrument. So if you accepted it, then ain't nothing wrong with it. Okay, we just said that. So that's an agreement. Okay, that is being offered in acceptance. Now you got people talking about, man, I'm going to court, man. I got a ticket. I got that. You're a citizen. You accepted as a citizen. You love being a citizen. You know, when the social media turns on, you know what I mean? Y'all talking about Chinese people. You're talking about Mexicans, even though they're part of the United States. You're talking about all these other people and stuff. And like, it feels so good to be an American. Okay, until they drag you up in court, now you got to pay all these fines and fees. Now what? Now you're complaining about being a citizen. Hey, you accepted it. Okay, it was a naked acceptance. Okay, so you can't waive an acceptance that waives remedy. So that means you have to accept. You've accepted all the things that came with being a citizen. Okay, so now you want to accept the benefit of being a citizen. Okay, being a citizen benefit. Now you got Social Security, you got food SNAP benefits, you got what is that? SSI. You got child support, TANF checks and stuff. All those are part of your benefit program, right? That ain't money that came out of your pocket. Okay, the state is cutting you a check, or the government is cutting you a check and sending it to you. That's a benefit program. But you have to be a what? Citizen. Okay? So y'all love these benefits when it comes to being a citizen. Okay? So that don't mean that you can't now all of a sudden, now you want to be a sovereign now. Now you want to go into court and be a sovereign and say, hey, well, you know, I'm a sovereign on my own land. I'm an Indian. But wait a minute. You just got through being a citizen. So now you want to be both. Okay? So you can't wait. So when you take on the citizen identity, it waives certain rights for you to have, okay, in place of privileges, okay? So because you wanted to take on a benefit program and be a citizen, so now you pretty much got to act out the rest of that contract as a citizen, okay, which is going to take you outside of some of the rights that would be afforded for you to have, that would have standing in court, because when you go in, you don't have standing. When you go in, you got to pay a fine or a fee, okay, versus somebody that would have standing, okay? You know, because some people are foreign, but they still have all the rights of a citizen, and that's something that's totally different. And we can get into that later too, okay? Because there is such thing that you can do, still participate as a citizen and be a non-citizen. Okay, a lot of people don't know that, but you can do that. Okay, so that waives pretty much anything wrong with that. So that's an agreement that is being offered and accepted. Receiving an instrument is an acceptance and a taking. Okay. All right, so you got that ticket from the officer. You just accepted an instrument, which is a written document, executed document. Okay, and on that, it's going to tell you need to pay a bill. Okay, you accepted that. That's an offer. Okay, everything is a contract. Okay, if they can stop you for speeding and make you pay the fine and fee, they would do that. Wouldn't write you a ticket. They just have something on your account and make it so you just got to pay. And that's basically what they're doing. But what they're doing is they're sliding in they're sliding in the fact that the part that you missed is that you have a choice to choose between accepting and not accepting the ticket, but it has to be done in such a way where both parties are being satisfied. Okay, we just talked about how it was satisfied up the top, where we said satisfaction is one of the things. When you go in, you're satisfied. Okay. If you're not satisfied, or if you're satisfied and the officer's not satisfied, okay, the officer may want to make himself satisfied by saying, hey, no, you're going to take this ticket. Okay, and at that point, what you want to do is call and talk to the supervisor. Okay, if you feel like you have more of a more valuable or more reason as to why maybe the officer is wrong, then you're definitely going to call the supervisor. Okay, and dispute that with him, with the supervisor being present. Okay, so anyway, the retention is the basis for a binding contract if there is a preceding act like a pledge to the United States. Altering the terms of the instrument and returning it operates as a counteroffer. Okay, so basically, we just talked about the example, and I've already used the example, the same one about the car. Okay, the car is $10,000. You made an offer, and then you gave them the paper back. But now what you did is you altered the terms of the agreement so it fit what you wanted. Okay, so now they accepted. So, you know, the thing was when they accepted the offer went through because you accepted it, but you put your terms on top of their terms, and both parties agreed to the alteration of the contract to say, hey, this still can meet, it still meets the terms, or it still meets the guidelines enough for us to accept this, and so we can go ahead and make a contract and deem this as being accepted. Okay, now when you go down, it says UCC 201. Now UCC 201-201 was rescinded. Okay, if you go there now, it's going to be a vacant law. It actually got moved to UCC 3-08, which is commonly known as reservation of rights. Okay, now when you read down, it says general definitions. Okay, 44, value, except as otherwise provided with respect to notional instruments and bank collections. Okay, so well, otherwise, if you ain't talking about those two things, then I guess it would be an exception. A person gives value for rights if he's acquired them. Okay, so basically you give value to something. Okay, let me see. It says for rights if he acquires them. Okay, let's read down because it's just still the definition. Okay, Section A, in return for a binding underline commitment to extend credits or for the extension of immediately available credit. Okay, so value is something that your signature can do. That's basically what they're saying, because now we're getting into negotiable. We're talking about instruments of value. Okay, they got to be talking about the signature. Okay, because it could be something that you give value to, or you can be a boss, okay, of a job, and basically say, hey, listen, I'm going to promote you up to from cook to lead chef. Okay, now you making more money with your job and your position. He just gave your position or gave you value. He didn't actually put money out of his pocket and put it in your pocket, not per se. Okay, but what he did is he gave value to something by giving you admittance from one point to another, and then saying that your position or your work was worth more than the amount of what it was. So we're going to increase the amount of what we think that you are, which is probably either be more or less duties or one of the same. Okay, and that's another example of giving value to something. Okay, so anyway, value for rights. Okay, if it acquires them. Okay, so if it acquires rights or anything has to do with being right, then it's going to be a part of the value system. Okay. Section F, in return for a binding commitment to extend credit or for the extension of immediately available credit. So we just talked about that. Whether or not drawn upon, or whether or not a chargeback is provided for in the event of difficulties in collections, okay, or collection. Or B, as security for a total or partial satisfaction, look at that word satisfaction again, of a pre-existing claim, or by accepting, delivering pursuant to a pre-existing contract for a purchase, or D, generally in return for any consideration significant to support a simple contract. Boom. So they said a whole lot. Let's backtrack and go all the way up. But we're just going to look at the highlights right now, okay? No, they got A, it says commitment to extend credit. We just gave you an example of how somebody can extend credit or give you something that's invisible. But, when it's time to cash that check, you got more money because of the value system they gave you, which contributes to more rights by them giving you value or giving you a position and telling you that your position is worth more than what it is. And that's an example of giving value. Now, for immediate available credit, okay, so it doesn't matter if it's right then and there on the spot, if it's drawn upon, like say you in Walmart and you write a check, okay, you just draw. Draw means to use your pen and write on something, okay? So they don't care if it was a check that you wrote on, okay? That's basically what they're saying. Upon or whether or not a chargeback. Chargeback can be, hey, you owe us some money, or you know how a chargeback is when you do a chargeback. You basically some money that got charged back into the account, or in the account where it was blank, but there's a statement that shows the amount that was owed or amount that was paid. Okay, so you have to, when you balance that book, or you balance the checkbook, or you balance your account, you're giving value to that account. Okay. So the next thing after that would be, these are all examples of value, okay? As security, or security, we've already talked about what security is, right? Security is something that can back up something. Like I can use, let's say, I give you a promissory note, okay, and it basically says, or a check, okay. Now they say, hey, I need something that's a security to back that check up. Okay, well, I might want to give you $20. If that check doesn't clear, I have to give you $20. That's a level of security right there. It's actually an example of security. Okay, security basically secures. It does what it says. It protects whatever is being secured. Okay, okay. So and that shows value, right? It's value for a total or partial satisfaction. So I'm happy with that, right? Or a pre-existing claim or claim on something, right? Like to say, hey, this is my house. I made a claim on this. My name is on this deed, and then I took it and put it in a trust, okay? And now the trust becomes the security, okay? And it's a pre-existing claim because I've already had a claim in the past. By accepting delivery pursuant to pre-existing contract, okay? So delivery means to go, from one place to the next. Okay, pursuant to means in according to, okay, or connected to a pre-existing contract. So, it just doesn't depend on if it's a contract that's coming, but it's a contract that's there. We already talked about it. Even though we talked about it on the phone, we need to meet up, and then later on we're going to write down the contract that we need to do, but it's already pre-existing, okay? So then we got generally in return for consideration. Return consideration, okay? Consideration means, hey, I bought the Maserati. Now they want that $9,000. Okay, so the consideration is going to be the $9,000. Okay, the consideration is always going to be the bread. Bread is money. Okay, so the consideration is, hey, you can have this car, considering the fact I got $9,000. Okay, if I ain't got that $9,000, we ain't gonna consider you having this car, right? We're gonna consider you having this car when the consideration is met. So the consideration would be any amount of money or any amount of what? Value. Okay, so a consideration is considered to be what? Value. Okay, I'm gonna give you value. I'm gonna give you a car, and it's valued at what I think the amount is, and that's 9,000. Okay, so it is exchanged for value. Okay, they give me some examples for value, and I just broke those down for you. Okay, so that's value. So now we got how to accept the contract. Then after we accept the contract, it got to be some type of consideration. Okay, it got to be some value, something there that if we're going to accept something, it got to be a trade from one part to the next to say, hey, listen, I got what I wanted out of this contract. They're going to turn my lights on. I'm going to give them $50 a month. Okay, that's in exchange for value. So I'm going to accept the contract, okay, and the terms of the agreement, okay, for value. And that value could be whatever it is, okay? Okay, so the value is conclusional. It could be anything. So we got that right there, and okay, so we got the UCC with UCC 1-308. Okay, generally says that the person gives value. Okay, he gives value to get rights. Okay, so now I got rights to the car. Okay, I got the car, $9,000. I have every right to get in this doggone car. You didn't give them that 9,000. If you didn't sign no contract, guess what? They about to call the police on your monkey ass and escort you up out of there. You have no right to jump in no damn car, jumping in the keys, talking about it's mine. Ain't paid nobody no money. They signed no contract or nothing. Okay, that's not giving you rights. When you set something and you give value, there's rights to come with that. Okay, I just got that car, and that's my car now, right? Excuse my French, I'm mean for those who don't like cussing and stuff, but it's natural. It slips every now and then. So anyway, let's keep it moving. Generally says that the person gives value. So now we got it. So both are giving value, right? Both people are giving value and giving rights, met the element of the consideration. Okay, elements means the parts of what make up something. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of things that made up a consideration. Okay, and both of them we consider to be value. He got 9,000, I got a car. Okay, both of us got exchanged something in exchange for value. Okay, and we met what we consider to be what was the considerations. I'm going to give you this $9,000 with the consideration that I get that Maserati. Cool, I want to give you this Maserati. okay, for the consideration that you're talking about. Okay, so for the value that you're talking about, cool. So that's two parties coming together to meet something with a mutual agreement and a value, okay, which creates a contract. Now, reading down, it says, what constitutes value? In today's commercial system, where ownership is not the prime focus, interest, rights, okay, interest, which is rights, in things take the place of ownership as the goal. Okay, so that's took it without saying. Okay, because those are one of the same or synonymous. Okay, interest means you have rights to something. Okay, you put an interest. I had an interest in that Maserati. Oh, you did? Yeah, I got an interest in it. See, you say you got an interest with it, that's with your mouth. Okay. But if you had an interest in it for real, then you go put some bread on it. Okay. And that's really showing an interest, okay, by law. You're showing an interest by putting some money on that, right? Okay, so that's giving you rights automatically. Interest they consider to be rights. Okay, now you got rights when you give interest. Okay, in things that take place of ownership as the goal. Okay, so ownership is goal. Okay, I give you that interest, I got rights. Now I'm the owner of the car. That's the goal. Okay, it's to become the owner of an asset, to own something, to control something, to say you got it or give it to the kids, and maybe they have it or using it or controlling it, but then you own it. Whatever the situation is. Okay, that's the goal. The goal is being met. Okay. Now it says a security interest constitutes a right to seize control of a pledged thing if the one giving the security interest fails to perform as agreed. Okay, so now we say, you know what, man? Listen, man. I tell you what, you ain't got the 9,000. Start to count the money out. You get the money out on the table. You same example with the Maserati. You put the 9,000 down, and then you forgot you had to pay grandma or mama for her money back from one time she bailed you up out of jail. Right? I'm just making a scenario. Let's say that was $1,000 of that. So now instead of 8, now instead of 9, you got 8, and you forgot. You like, oh snap, get the 80. Start patting your pockets. You know what? You guys said, you know what? Listen, man. I tell you what, you $2,000 short, but let's see. I'll take the 8,000 for a down payment, okay, and then we can take the rest in credit. I'll give you some type of credit, okay, and then finance you for that amount and make it so that you can pay monthly fees for the next 2 months. Let's just say something for $2,000 for the next 6 months, okay, and then that should be like 8 months, and then we'll have that paid off in 8 months. How about that? Boom, make the contract, take the 8,000, okay, and now you renege on one of the payments. Something come up, child support, boom, you ain't got enough money to pay your car note. Guess what? You just signed a contract. Okay, you don't own it until you pay it. Until it's already paid. Even though you paid that 8,000, you got to drive the car off the lot. Okay, so we gave you a whole lot. We damn near gave you the car. Okay, but we're not gonna give you the title to the car as the owner until it's paid off. So that means they have rights to seize it for what? Non-performance. You failed on your part of the contract to renege, so now they can come back and take the whole thing back, right? That's just how it goes, okay? And y'all know that's how the game goes. Let's know that's how it's being played, right? And that's what it's telling you right here, okay? The person that's given security with the interest retains possession of the one thing that secures the right of another party to seize possession of the thing that backs the security interest that was given, okay? So back that security interest for a piece of paper, say that you're going to do that, but you're making those payments. Okay, the payments is backing up the security. Okay, you backing up what you said you're going to do by with the money, the amount of money. But when they don't get that, okay, you forfeit the contract. It's a breach, and they can come back and seize that car. Okay, the one receiving a security interest becomes a secured party. Okay, so the secured party is the one who still owns the car. He owns it until you pay off the money. So anybody, the good way to say that, see that is the person that's receiving the money is going to be secure party. The person that is paying the money is the debtor. It's always going to be that, because the thing is, if you miss a payment, you're in debt. So that's the debtor. Okay. Okay. So especially if the instrument establishing the security interest is registered. Okay. So you already signed a contract with them. Okay. You gave them your ID. Even though that may or may not be a good example for a register, but a register would be something that you gave your car and took it to the BMV. Okay, you register that vehicle. Now, when you don't pay for those licenses and you drive without a license, can't they tow your car? Even though they didn't buy that car, they can tow it, right? Okay, well, you registered the car, so Hey, listen, that's just an example of what they're trying to tell you. Okay, it's up to you. You want to register the car. All right. So it says, let's keep it moving, especially if the instrument establishing the security interest is registered. Boom. He has rights, which are remedies and defense or defenses. Okay, remedies and defenses that he can use to enforce an agreement if the other party fails to perform as agreed. So the other person, now you know, some people want to hide the car, right? It's like I missed the payment. I was supposed to pay, but I didn't pay. I know on Wednesday if I don't pay, by Thursday they're gonna be trying to go around with the tow truck trying to find that car. Okay, but in all reality, the person that's with the tow truck is coming to get that car. He has the rights. Okay, he has rights and defenses. Okay, that he's afforded, and it's going to help him in a setting. Let's say if he has to go to court or issue out some type of a summons for court. Okay, and you're going to be obligated to pay that money for that car. Okay. Okay, so now we got a UCC 3-108, says 201, but it just got rescinded or repealed. I'm sorry, I said rescinded. It got repealed. Okay, so 1-201 is now commonly 1-308 reservation of rights. Okay, now we go up under 36 of the UCC 1-308 and rights as included remedies. So it's going to tell you more about what rights are. Okay, a remedy is a commercial right. Okay, so a remedy is a commercial right, something that's right. Right is a no-brainer. Right means something that is afforded to you, something that you can have or at any time and can't nobody stop you or obstruct you from having that because it's your right to have it. Okay, for those who acquire the right through an instrument. Okay, and we already got papers right here to say I got the rights to do that. Right, that instrument is the paper. In corporate United States, there must be a written record of everything. Okay, so we got a contract. You bought the Maserati. Jack Smith came in, bought the Maserati. Dropped down eight stacks on it. You got an 6-month contract. Boom, he's gonna pay $200-$300 a month until it's paid off. Okay, that's an instrument. Okay, and it's basically in the corporate. It's I'm sorry, I lost my spot. Okay, written record of everything. It's a written record. Okay, nothing is supposed to be assumed. Okay, nothing is supposed to be assumed. I know y'all probably wait for me to do that, bring that up on the screen. I can see far away, can't see closer. I've been used to straining my eyes to see far away because that's how I see it. I can see far but not close. Okay, now it's all big enough, so I should be able to find out what came up here. We're talking about screen just moved down a little bit. Okay, we move down. Okay, we're talking about rights. Okay, this is usually but not always a pledge or promise to relinquish possession of a thing if there is a breach of an agreement. Okay, so you already, this goes without saying, if you made a breach, okay, and the breach is going to be something you fail in your part of the obligation. Okay, because enforcement of a contract based on an implied promise is weak. Okay, implied means we got to see you do it. Okay, and that's it. Okay, enforcement based on an implied promise to do something. Okay, nobody wants to go on an implied promise. Okay, instrument demanding performance on it is an offer to initiate a new contract based on an old, a Civic, and may be implied on unenforceable contract. Okay, so let's move back. It says an instrument demanding performance on it is as an offer to initiate a new contract based on the old antecedent, okay, and may be implied on enforceable contract. If an instrument is based on an international, I said wrong, intentional. If an instrument is based on an intentional written promise to perform and an intentional pledge to relinquish property, it does not have to be issued for value. You already got a pledge to do something, so you don't need to issue any more value because that part of the process was already done in the first part. Okay, it is just issued. In the original contract with the offer's right to the pledged property is a consideration that supports the demand. Okay, so you already got a pledge to do something. That means basically you said you're going to do it. Okay, Now, your words should be bond. When you say you're going to do something, you got to say you're going to do it. Okay, so, instrument based on intentional written promise to perform on an intentional pledge, basically uh, to relinquish property, it doesn't have to have value because you already put a pledge in place of that. Okay, and you came in and said, hey, listen, you set the contract and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna let you, this is my daughter, okay, and I'm the owner of the car lot. She comes in and say, hey, Dad, I see you got a Maserati for $9,000. Now you don't want to make your daughter pay any money for that, so you say, hey, listen, as long as you can keep pay the taxes on the car, if you do this, keep the upkeeping on the car, maybe I'll get the keys and you can have that Maserati. Okay, so now she has a certain type of performance or something she's agreed to do. Okay, that took in place of the value. So no value was exchanged for that. Okay, it's just a performance. Okay, that's a good example. So if an instrument is based on an intentional written promise to perform and an intentional pledge to relinquish property, it does not have to be issued with value. Like I said, it is just issued in the original contract with the author's right to the pledged property is the consideration. Okay, that supports the demand. A copy of the written promise and pledge can be attached to the instrument, or the instrument can just refer to the performance supported by a written promise. Has defenses if the debtor files a complaint against the issuer for making the demand. So say the girl, she was in favor with daddy, but then she turned around and let her boyfriend wreck the car. Now daddy upset because he gave the car to his daughter, but the daddy, she's upset. Now the daddy is upset at the girl for letting the boyfriend that he don't really too much care about take the car and wreck the car. Having said that, now that you just reneged on what you said you was going to do, okay, and now you didn't upkeep the car. Not only did you upkeep the car, okay, there's some damages that got to be paid on the car. Insurance wants to know, hey, the premium is going up and everything is still in daddy's name. So he's not happy with that. So you know what daddy's going to do? He's going to file a claim on that and make you pay for all the whatever you were supposed to pay for, or whether it's damages or whatever it is, instead of you having to pay for it because it's out of his name. Okay. So he says, attached to an instrument or instrument can just refer to a contract by its title, number, or date. The issuer of the instrument demanding performance supported by a written promise has defenses if the debtor files a complaint against the issuer for making the demand. It could be the other way around. Now, daddy said, hey, well, look, I'm taking the car because I didn't want your pretty boyfriend to take the car or drive it. And, they're like, well, hey, we live together. Like, come on, you're not being fair, Dad. I've already spent money on it, I'm using the car to go to work, this type of thing. And now you just out of a jealous rage, you want to start, So now we already got a paper, already ready. So now the daughter, being the debtor, okay, she still has defenses that's going to be able to afford her to have rights to the car. Okay, it's already a contract, performance. So it goes both ways. The issuer can produce the antecedent contract, the antecedent contract, okay, that contains the intentional promise, okay, to perform and the intentional pledge to use tangible or intangible property to secure the performance. Okay, so the issuer can produce the antecedent contract that contains the international promise to perform the international pledge. Okay, so you can use property to back it up and say, hey, listen, Dad, hey, listen, I'm glad you allowed me to have that car. That the 10 acres I always had over here that was on, Mom left that during the time of the divorce. I know you always wanted that. You know what? If things don't go right, I tell you what, in case of, and say I don't even have the money to pay Dad or pay the insurance or any of that, you can use that as a default or a security to back up what it is in case you're not able to make the payments or something happens. Then you can say, hey, Dad, well, I'm going to list this property on here as a backup security. Okay, so if I don't have the money, I know you can take that property because there was investors and people that needed that or wanted that, and you can liquidate the assets for that and put that money in your account, and you can use that to pay off any debt that I have to do that. Okay, that's a secure process. Okay. If the debtor aware that he had previously signed a promise and pledged his right to a thing to guarantee his performance, he would have had to see the contract. Okay, so everything got to be in contract. Got to be written down. The demand instrument is issued to get performance already promised or in an alternate to give the thing already pledged. Okay, so I just gave a good example on that, and we're going to stop right there. We already getting to the almost 10 o'clock mark. Okay, and we so far have covered acceptance, value, and consideration. Okay, and that's pretty much the A for V. Even though there's other components that go with that, we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna pick it up again next. Let's see, we got one on Monday, and then we have another class on Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday classes are private classes, but if I can get enough people that want to participate, we'll do something again, something similar to this, and make it a continuation of this. And then for my people that are private, we'll just continue after the hour to make it a private, slash make it like 2 hours. The first hour being, something online, and then afterwards something just for the people that are private. Okay, so because I know people have other private things to do. So anyway, we got. Okay, so let's look at some of the contracts that I have and I've accepted for value, because this is what I do. Okay, and I'm gonna give y'all some examples because I don't want y'all to think I'm just reading out a bunch of paperwork and selling you a bunch of fluff. That's not what's going on. Okay, and we're gonna get into, I say, another 10 minutes and we're gonna be done. Let's go into. Okay. So anyway, now it's a lot of things is going to make up this. One, I know how to do affidavits. Okay, so we're going to get to, and I did a video already on affidavits, and I'll probably either do a review, and now that I think about it, I'll probably put that in the next part of the next class on affidavits, because now that we got to this part, you need to know how to effectively communicate with corporations, governments, or any type of governmental entity, whether it's a city, the state, or anything. And not a lot of times you're going to need to have a way to construct the affidavit, okay? And there's many ways you can do that. You can have the pledge up top, where it comes to the city, it has the jurisdiction, which is the state of Mississippi. I'm just using that for an example. And it has the county, and it says solemnly swear, and out of there, it'll have a jurat with kind of, or an accept, or I'm sorry, an acknowledgement to say that you're up at the age of something of the majority, 18 and up. The following statements that I say are from me, and of me, and I'm of the age of majority, and I state and uphold the following things. And then you start off like that. Now, affidavits can be like that. Those are usually your typical ones. Or you can address them from a to party, and put the from and to there. In this case, I got everything redacted here. I got from and the principal. The principal is going to be, it's going to be me. Okay, so my name is there. It's going to be redacted that. Because we online and we got these trolls on here now. I've been, you might have been put a picture up and everything else, and just because I went up here and tried to help other people, they turn around saying I'm fraud and ain't sold nobody nothing, and I'm out here scamming people and ain't even selling nothing. So anyway, we got a principal, which is going to be me, the real party interest administrator. I am the administrator of my own affairs. I administrate. The administrator is no more than an executive. Okay, an administrator and executive are one and the same. They're really different, but they are very synonymous. Okay, and if you know what an executive is, an administrator is more like a secretary. Okay, so I'm a secretary for the straw man name. Okay, so but I am the administrator, so I'm not going to be the straw man, which would be the legal entity. Okay, or it would be the English person, which would be the all caps, and a way of saying that would be in English, or you could say, I use the word all the time, and I just kind of slip in mind right now. Or you can just spell the name out without even giving it a title, to be honest with you, and that's what I usually do. Okay, so you want to make yourself known that you're the principal and you're the administrator of this account. Okay, and that account's going to be the Social Security number. Okay, now, when you go to the publications in the IRS, it tells you that when you do business-to-business transactions, okay, and there is an exchange and a value, and that value is something just regulated or use some type of fiat or the currency, which would be called United States Federal Reserve notes, FDRs, okay? I mean, FRNs, Federal Reserve notes, they're going to be taxed. Anytime you use money, it's got to be taxed, okay? So they want to know who got the money, who gave it to who, and who's paying the taxes, right? So this is always going to be a tax assessment, a tax assessment. Okay, when you're dealing with business to business transaction, and this one right here, I accepted. This is an acceptance letter for a storage unit that I had, and when it went into a couple of months into a non-payment, I ended up having to give them a note, okay, which set off the amount of the balance, okay, which would be commonly known as a promissory note. Okay, and you can pay bills with these all day long. You don't pay anything, but you can discharge and set up. Okay, but when you go to the publications, they clearly tell you that you have to be able to indicate that this is an important tax return document and it's enclosed either on the front of the envelope or somewhere on the document. And what I do is I put it at the very top of the heading because I'm letting them know this is a tax assessment. Because you get these people that think, oh, we're doing an A for V. What is this, that redemption movement crap? And they'll send it back to you and say, oh, it's all crap. They don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. So I don't use the redemption methods, okay? What you're going to see is something very similar, okay? And I know you got your trolls over here, or you got people that disbelieve, and they think that I'm doing the redemption movement and all that sovereign citizen crap. And no, because when you go to UCC and you go to the publications, all of what I just said is in there. It came from there. It didn't come from the redemption method, okay? Everything I just told you right now came from the publication, IRS, okay? Where it came from, okay? When we can get the source, if somebody we want the source, I can put it in the face, fine, no problem at all. Okay, now, me being a real person, okay, I don't domicile, okay? I don't have a domicile. My domicile is national, okay? And I'm not considered to be a citizen. I'll say it again. Okay, again, it's not no sovereign citizen crap. Okay, because you can go to the IRS elections, and they can tell you that there's certain qualifications that you can have as an election, as a citizen. So you can be a non-U.S. citizen, you can be a U.S. citizen, you can be a U.S. citizen foreign national, or you can be a non-U.S. citizen national, or you can be a non-U.S. citizen foreign national, or a foreign national non-U.S. citizen. It depends on what type of title or what type of entity and how you have it set up. Okay, my election with the IRS would be a non-U.S. citizen national, okay, at this time. Now that I have other property, I've exported some of my property outside of the United States using that property, okay, and in the capacity of a creditor. If I was to fill out any paperwork, that would make me a non-U.S. citizen foreign national, okay? And a non-U.S. citizen, okay, still has all the rights of a citizen. Still has all the rights of a citizen and still not be a non-U.S. citizen. People are like, oh, wow, I didn't know you could do that. I thought that was sovereign citizen. No, it's not sovereign citizen. Anybody that's saying sovereign citizen, man, they just don't know the law. Okay? They think everything that's making you free is illegal because they long told themselves that they're slaves and there's nothing else we can do about it. The white man is in control. And we just got to be slaves. Stay away from that person. That person is going to get you caught up. That person tries to decipher anything that I'm doing and present it to you. They'll screw all this up, tell you it's something else different. Okay, tell you better go wear a fez and go to court. You be locked up for everything that I just told you right there. Because that's what happens. Okay, because that's what happens. So, and I ain't talking about no Moors. I'm talking about fez because most of my brothers, I attended the Moor Science Temple. I like Moors. I like Temple Number 1. I have nothing against no Moors, but then we got these ones out here that claiming to be Moors that really ain't Moors. Okay, and I'm not saying because they Indian. I'm just saying because you ain't Moor because you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, you don't know the practices of the practices of the Prophet Noble Ali, rest his soul, or any of how he had it organized. You ain't been in no temples, and you don't have to be a part of the temple, but you at least need to be aware and know how it functions. You need to know what it is. the story of the prophet instead of just reading little blog sites and then making yourself a moral. When you ain't never made no contact with nobody, nobody knows you being a moral except for you being online and just saying you're a moral. And we got those types out here, okay? And a lot of these ones making these videos ain't real morals either, okay? And I'm not saying that they Indians, I don't know what they are, but I know they ain't no more, okay? Because I've been in Temple One, and in Temple One, they don't operate like a lot of what I've seen online, okay? So that's all I'm saying is, and it's not no.
Oh, you gonna have them people upset?
I don't give a damn about making nobody upset or hurt nobody's feelings. You need to get some tough skin. That's what you need to do. You need to get some tough skin. Stop being a soft bitch. Okay. And if somebody's giving you some criticism, then you need to take a little bit of what I'm saying and maybe put it to what I'm saying and say, you know what, you're right. So I'm gonna make sure I make Creek wrong by going and doing what he said he'd do. I'm gonna reach out to other Moors. I'm gonna start reading more about the Circle 7 Quran because I've done all that. I've done all that. Okay, I got Circle 7 Quran here and all that. I ain't no hater. Okay, I love anything that's part of me or history or my people or any of that, even though I don't consider myself or my lineage to be a Moor. Okay, I like the movement. I like what they're talking about. I like what they're doing. But I don't like some of what I've seen online taken out of content what the prophet was doing, because I see that you're doing something totally opposite. Okay, and you're really making a mockery of something that was beautiful. So I don't really subscribe to a lot of that. And I'm done with that. I'm not going to keep going on about that. But, you know, I just want to make a note of that because a lot of y'all get in these court situations. And, you know, so a lot of y'all, too, on here. I ain't talking about y'all. I'm just saying, y'all email me talking about this didn't happen and you in court and this and that and everything else, Bay. Okay? And I've been helping y'all go through the thing. I ain't hating on you because I'm helping you. So, but the thing is, you know, you got to get to a situation, to a part in time where you got to be real with yourself. You can lie to everybody but yourself. Okay, you keep telling yourself there's something, but you know you ain't that. Okay, and you ain't gonna be able to fool everybody. You may be able to fool some of the people some of the time, but you ain't gonna fool everybody. Okay, that's facts. Now, having said that, hopefully we take that as medicine, and we can build ourselves up and take the criticism and take the corrective part that goes with it, and not just use criticism. Because I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm just trying to not make you feel good about doing something bad, so you want to go out there and do the right thing. That's all Creep is trying to get you to do. All right. But anyway, so you can take this information for value, right? So we already know what value is, so you can accept it for value. Okay. Now, the United States national, and I was telling you about a non-citizen, is a native of an American territory possession. Well, what does it say right here? It says non-citizen. Okay, a U.S. state national non-citizen is a native to American territory. So you can still be from America and not be a citizen. Okay, there is such thing as an election. Okay, nationals are entitled to what? I didn't say it, they said it. All the legal protections of a U.S. citizen. So I still got all the same benefits y'all got. I just ain't no citizen. Okay. You can read that, and that comes this. You can go right there to travel and state. That's United States Department government site right there. Okay, so there's a source right there. I ain't gonna tell you that wrong now. That's just what it is right there. I mean, I can get mad all day long, just keeping it real and stop being soft. Okay, go there, check it out. We're gonna keep it moving. All right, so we got 9 U.S. citizens. So you can be a citizen. We kind of touched on that a little bit. I'm going to keep going on. So we got that. So get your Alexa set up. Okay, like I got mine set up here. I'm a non-U.S. citizen, foreign national. Okay, I do have, a business set up. Right here you see Belize. You know what? And y'all stop, take a minute, and go look up Belize when you get a chance. Okay, that's a safe haven for our people. Belize is the #2 most black, and I use black. I know we got our scholars on here talking about, we ain't saying black. Listen, man, I'm talking in simplicity. I'm not using technical terms. I know black means dead, deaf, and dying. It's really pale, and the white man is really black. I get all that, okay? But we're just gonna talk and keep it moving because some of the people on here are at a very, at a fundamental level, okay? They just now starting to learn this stuff, and I want people to be comfortable. I'm not trying to slay them, cut their throat every time they make a little mistake, okay? And I'm just talking And I'm not using literal terms, okay? I'm just saying for the sake of conversation, black is black, and they consider us to be black. Or you can say Indian, or we can say brown, or whatever, okay? So all of them are terms anyway. It don't matter because all of them ain't none of them really you, okay? So having said that, Belize is going to be the #2 populated, most black melanated Nubian country, okay? Aside to Brazil being the first. I think Brazil is either second or third to Africa. Africa's not #1. Actually, Brazil is #1. Check it out. Okay. Now I know people will get on there because I seen when somebody said, "No, it wasn't Africa's #1," but then I seen where it said Brazil, and Brazil was was a melanated population for a long period of time. But
It is Brazil. It's Brazil.
Yeah, I thought it was Brazil. Okay, so it is Brazil. But I had this argument before, and somebody brought up something else. And then when we went through the whole thing and got it corrected, we seen where it was both. For 1 minute, somebody said it was here, and 1 minute somebody said it was there. But it's more than usual. It's going to be Brazil. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, and Belize is going to be either second or third of that. Okay, so our people is there. A lot of Creoles there. There's places there. It's 2 for 1. So if you got $1,000 here, you take it down there. You got 2,000. Okay. And so I've been looking for some what do you call investments offshore. Okay, and I'm just trying to solidify something that I can have and pass on, and don't have to work forever. So when I get to my older ages, I can chill out and enjoy the fruits of my labor. Right? Okay, and I'm gonna try to show you how to do the same thing. Right? So I'm trying to share this information. Okay, so I had the notary. I use a notary. Okay, as an acceptor. He basically accepts anything on behalf of my corporation, okay, because a notary works on both public and private, okay, and he can receive important legal documentation. He can either notarize it, he can send it back. He also is a witness for me on court. Okay, I say it again. The notary is also a witness. Okay, so you can use, because I always use the notary protest process, which means to have a notary as a witness. So automatically, if I'm sending out some court papers or affidavit, I got a notary as a witness. That notary is going to witness the documents. They're going to put it in the envelope. They're going to seal it out and sign it along with next to my name and sign it along with me. Okay, because I look at it like a notary is an officer of the court. Okay, and he's always going to be backed up by the full faith and credit of the court. We know that because he's the officer of the court, like a bailiff or prosecuting attorney or so forth, whatever. Okay, so I want to use a witness in your court that's going to solidify my documents as it is what it is. Okay, either an acknowledgement or a jury. Okay, which is going to give you an oath for a testament if it's a jury. So this is going to Q Smart Self Storage, and I sent it to the CFO, which is the Chief Financial Officer. You're not going to send it to an letter of acceptance to somebody in that works in the who is that the department that wants customer affairs or customer service. You're not going to send none of this there because this is private. Okay. Now the CFO always deals with both public and private, and they deal with the financial part of the company. Okay. So a lot of times you get online, look and see who the CFO is. If not, you can get on the organizational chart and you can see how they got it broke down. If it's not a chief advisor, it's usually a director. Okay. But it's not going to be nobody that works in customer service. Okay. That's where you divide between public and private. Customer service is customer, consumer, public. Okay, we don't deal with that when we're doing an acceptance. We're going to the boss. This is taxes, so this is private. Okay. Now, so we've already properly addressed that, figured out where the service process is and where it's coming from. Okay, the next thing is to give them a reference to private acceptance for contractual offer and their account number. Okay, so this is the account number, and this was CubeSmart. Okay, and I owe them $442.74. Okay, and I'm gonna read a little bit down. It's not that long. I'm gonna read some of the stuff in there, and I'm gonna show you kind of what I did right here and how you need to set it up. Okay, so I don't do that line. People write across the whole thing diagonal, accept it for value, vote for value, set their close count of this account, address number, CQ ship number. It's not a security. You're not trading anything. Like it's really just take that whole thing is not really 100% the process that you need to do, and you don't need to go diagonally across the paper. Now, I did before in the past because I was ignorant, okay? But instead of doing that, I just give them an acceptance letter. I let them know, hey, listen, it's accepted for value, okay? My value is going to be the signature, okay? The money is going to, consideration is going to be the money order, okay? The numbers I use down here is the social security number down there, which is redacted. And the other one is the number, the social security number, which is the checking account number on the back of the social security number, okay? You put that number there, okay? Once you send this to Treasury, Treasury knows what to do with it, okay? You're going to give it, right here it says United States Treasury, credit to. I gave credit. That's value. I'm giving value to what? CubeSmart, okay? And, you know, make no mistake about it. If you got a certificate of live birth with a double authentication, okay, and you got your statutory claim in the IRS to let them know that you're not dead at sea, that unlocks your account as the executor to say that you're the executor of the estate, okay, and you're not dead, and that you're going to take over the account, okay, that will unlock your account, or you're letting them know that you're going to use your account, okay, the Treasury, which and it already has interest in it, okay. So in that account, you'll be able to, you know, discharge or set off any amount or any obligation that you have through the interest that's you paid by the United States. Okay, they're gonna take care of all the bills, because if you went and look back at my last two videos, we already went into the whole prefix on how the government was set up and what they was doing as a precursor to satisfy people when they took money out of publication. Okay. And they gave you two choices. You can do it like this, or you can just work with the slave. Okay, so let's go ahead and read that down. It says, please find and close an acceptance of my presentment in the sum of $442.74 for the total balance, which indicates on the invoice and the coupon thereof. I am taking this opportunity to make myself perfectly clear with the disclosure and no misunderstanding. Clean hands and good faith, I will not accept the transfer of the principal obligation from Smart Studs. I'm basically telling them, I'm not going to take the principal obligation. So I'm not going to be paying for the taxes, because number one, you use my social security number. When I filled out that contract, they use your social security number. Using your social security number means what? That they can go into your account. Sure they do, because when they go into bankruptcy court, they go file a certain chapter as a creditor. Not chapter 14, not chapter 13, or not 7, not none of that. It's another chapter that they file for creditors that are owed a certain amount of money. But guess what they got to have in order to give to the judge? Their social security number. So when you don't pay, they go to the judge and get a judgment. Judge says, hey, judgment for, you know, CubeSmart $400 something. Now what happens is the judge takes your social security number, okay, gives it the credit, gives a notice of payment to the Treasury. The Treasury receives that from the judge and says, hey, we have an outstanding amount of balance for this right here, and we see where it's a tacit consent or an agreement. You didn't say anything, okay? But they see where they just sent you notices, but you never say anything. So it's a tacit agreement, okay, for them to use your social security number, right? Tacit, okay? Now what happens is CubeSmart sits back and they wait for the process to go through Treasury, and then they get a credit for the amount that you didn't pay. So they just discharge your debt, and they got paid. They got paid off that, you didn't pay them, so they went to the bankruptcy court, and the bankruptcy court gave them a credit. That's it. Now what happens is they still got this piece of paper that say you owe. So now they know you don't know what took place. They went and sold that debt, which is most likely going to be an attorney firm. Okay, and these attorneys are calling you, talking about they on behalf of a third debt party, a third party debt collector. Okay, to receive that money, the funds that you owe. But if they're not the original creditor, you don't owe that them, because that's double dipping. They already got paid, and you should have to pay them no more. Okay, they already got CubeSmart already got paid. What I'm paying you for? Okay, so that's the game. But so what I basically said in short was, I'm not taking the principal obligation, and to say, hey, I'm not going to be that one that, you know, I'm going to be the one to pay the debt and pay the taxes for this and that when you use my social security number, and I'm a creditor. I facilitate my own business. I'm the what? Principal, party in interest, and the administrator. I've already established that from the beginning, and I told you who I was. Okay, so I'm not calling. I'm not the straw man. I'm the man, the representative. I'm the president. Okay, for the vessel that we talked about, Title 18, right? The vessel, which is a citizen of the United States or a corporation that's formed of the United States, right? Okay, so basically, I'm not going to accept the principal position. Okay, I'm going to take the creditor's position. Okay, where I'm going to discharge this debt. Okay, and I ain't double paying nobody. I'm going to do it one time. I'm going to pay you your money, and you're going to take this note. That's basically what I'm saying. Okay, the presentment has been lawfully accepted for value and returned for value. You go to the words again. Accepted for value. I accepted that money that you said the amount I do. I'm taking that for value. That's the value. Okay, and I'm returning it for value. So you got value and I got value. Okay, for settlement, it has been it's been forwarded to the what? IRS processing officer. So from here, it's going to the Treasury Department. Okay, IRS regulation requires that we issue the 1099. So I'm already telling them, hey, listen. Okay, me as an independent contractor, you're supposed to be able to use those 1099 forms as an independent contractor. Okay, now when we first signed this agreement, okay, agreement's right here. Little keep spot thing. I always sign an all cap name, and then look how I signed the contract down here, y'all. As the agent, I'm the agent for the principal. I already told y'all that from the beginning who I was. Yeah, I accepted the contract for value. Okay, I agreed to the terms, and I signed on behalf of the strawman because strawman can't sign. Okay, but I can sign as the agent for the strawman. And I'm also allowed, because I have power of attorney, I can sign his name too. Even though it's styled in all caps, that's not mine, but I can still use that name and it not be fried because I got power of attorney over the entity, okay? And I can use that entity in a corporate legal structure. It would be like a corporation, okay? That's the contract. And you want to do the A for V, accepted value, and right all the way across them, you can, but I just stopped doing that because I didn't see any other businesses doing that. I'm like, why am I doing that? And JP Morgan don't do that, okay? Because I'm a real business too. Okay, so basically you read that down there, it tells you how to facilitate that, okay? You have to have what's called an account and itemization. This is where your UCC comes in, because when you read UCC, or I think it's Article 3, but don't quote me, it tells you that they have to have an account itemization and a balance, and you also have to have an invoice. So I had that. I got the invoice. I got the account itemization to show, to break down the amount of how much I paid, how much I owe, and the total balance, which came up to $442. Right? You got to have the itemization, and publication tells you to do that. I'm sorry. For tax purposes, you got to be able to equate how much you owe and show that with an invoice is the proof that is a debt. Anytime you get an invoice, that's a debt. Okay, because you can only do this if it's a debt. You can't pay money and pay for things. Say it again. I hear you. I thought you said something. I'm gonna keep going. I'm almost done anyway. Okay, so now we already described what this is right here. It's going to the United States Treasury, but we asking the United States Treasury to give credit to CubeSmart for the amount of $442.74. Okay, you're gonna put your name right here. You put your social security number there, because that's your account. You're letting them know who the name of the account is. You're gonna put right here CubeSmart, because that's who the payee is gonna be. It's gonna pay the payee, and down here is gonna be the payer. Okay, I'm paying this person up here. Okay, and then you're gonna leave a line right there, and that's where you're gonna sign your name in the regular caps, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, whatever. Okay, it's gonna be a regular case, because you are the representative for that entity, which is the whole name up there. I redacted it right here, but that's the all cap name. I registered my stuff with a registered mail sticker. Okay, so when I get the registered mail, I take the number, I put it on the instrument. Okay, so that makes it a federal. What it does, it makes it federal property. Okay, because it's already been sent in, and I sent it registered mail. You see on the top of my affidavit, see where it got the registered mail number RB 700 whatever, and I put that on the instrument too as well, as a way of tracking. Now this instrument is already tracked. Certified funds, remit at par value, Fed wire. Okay, so go ahead and accept this as money. Is what I'm saying. IRS technical support division. This is where it's going to go. Okay, so not a lot of people don't know that, but that's where you're supposed to really send the stuff to. Okay. I didn't mean to redact that. I thought it was really trying to go around. But anyway, Q Smart 50 that. You got account number there, the money order, the number. You got to put your number to Social Security number front and back there, the number of the check, which is one there. And that's pretty much it. He said this coupon to take a true watermark, hold up to the light. And I created this whole good thing. I did this whole thing. You know, I was just you know.
Breaking up, Creek.
Say it again. I ain't hear you.
You breaking up.
Okay. Let me try to move around. I know that's the conference call doing that.
It might be me. I don't know. I think I'm getting a bad connection.
Yeah, they do that because we start getting to the money part.
Now, I'm on my computer. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they doing that because we get into that money part, and they don't want you to see this part. Okay, because this is the part where people are more interested in, and you know, all this other stuff. They don't expect you to do none of that, but then when you get to right here, they don't want you to know you can write your own money. Okay, because there is no money. You got special instructions right here. It tells you, okay, when they get the note, this tells them instructions on how to basically use the note, how to take it, don't cash it, you want to deposit it only, blah, blah, blah. This is a memorandum. Now, memorandum is just basically, going into what the laws are, what my rights are, you know what I mean, UCC, and putting the codes on there to say, hey, this says this. If you go read this, it tells you to do this. If you're not aware of this, go read this, it tells you that. Go to UCC 3, 1, policy, House Joint Resolution 192. And I'll read some of that here. It says the obligation of the drawer, which is acceptor, Secretary of Treasury through the Bailey, which is the legal representative, or claimant's financial institute, which is TTL is Treasury and Tax Loan Department. Okay, and that's with the Treasury. Okay, and you want to have your bank set up with your account with Treasury. So now your commercial bank, if you got a business like I do, you can run it together with Treasury, and then you can take the notes and give them to the bank, and the bank will take the promissory notes and they'll go pay your bills for you. Okay, so you can use your bank to pay your bills. Okay, so you want to do bank-to-bank transfer, ACH, whatever. It depends on how you have it set up. Hereof arise out of want of consideration for the pledge and the redemption of the pledge of Republican, House Resolution 192. Okay, so it's already been a pledge. Okay, but we talked about a pledge being value. Okay, so there's a certain amount of value and consideration that comes to a contract. When you have two people, one accepting and the other one accepting in exchange for value, the exchange of value would be consideration, right? Which either be the money or the car. You get the car, you get the money. That's the exchange of value. Now, if you get somebody that says, hey, listen, I don't want no money. I just need you for you to do this and do that. As long as you do that, you can have this car, and the car can be yours, a company car, whatever the situation might be. So the United States already pledged a performance to pay for all these bills for taking all our money. So that's an exchange, right? It's an exchange. You take our money out of this publication, we got to give you all the gold. How we can pay debts? Well, you ain't got to pay debts. We're going to make sure that if it's an obligation, if it comes through the way it's supposed to come through, and everything is set up the way it's supposed to be set up, then you know what, we'll set up an account for you, okay, and we'll make sure that we'll just take care of that bill for you, and it'll be discharged, set off for the amount, okay. And that's pretty much it. And when you go to the check, on the check, when you flip it over, this is what's on the back of my check. Okay, now for deposit, EFT only is going to be electronic funds transfer. Okay, for discharge of debt. Okay, legal right here represented without recourse. Okay, and that's pretty much the short, skinny version of what you need to do. Of course, you need to anoint the chief financial officer. If you go to the publications, because you got to read the tax forms. Believe it or not, the publications are going to tell you how to do these. Okay, that nullifies the whole sovereign citizen crap that people are talking about. Because when you go to publications, everything I did here, including the affidavit, the itemization, writing the instrument, the memorandum, the special notes, all that's in the publication. It tells you what you need to have as a business and how you need to set it up as a business so that you can discharge your debt. It tells you how to do it. It even tells you how to accept the the remittance, which is the bill that you get, and then at the bottom it looks like a it looks like a check, and you can convert it to a check. Those are remittances. It tells you what to do with those. It tells you how to take them, how to accept them, to a certain extent. It tells you how to do that. You got to read between the lines and some of the stuff, because it's just not going to tell you how to do it or what to do it. If you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. You got to know. So, and then it tells you, all the precursors that you have in order to do it. Now, the next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to anoint a fiduciary. The publication and title publication 56, Form 56 will tell you that. It comes with a publication. It tells you how to fill out the form and what you need to do with the form. Now, if you go to that, we'll go this one. I'll give you. Let me extend it for another 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna get out of here. It's already 10:30. Okay, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Okay, 4 minutes of counting. Form 56. Just gonna give you a little taste of Form 56. When I mean publication, I'll show you what I mean when I say publication. Okay. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, Form 56 right here. I think this is going to be PDF. It's not going to give you publication. Yeah. Not give you. Okay. Well, here you go. You got the instructions, and the publication is going to have the same thing. It's going to have the instructions. Okay. And so basically, going to say when and where to file, how to file, authority, line A, 1A. It tells you how to fill out the whole thing. Specific instructions, definitions, fiduciary. Right here it says fiduciary. Fiduciary is any person acting in a fiduciary capacity for any other person, okay, or terminating entity, such as a what? Administrator. Just talked about that. Conservator, designated executor, talked about that. Guardian, receiver, trustee of a trust, trustee in bankruptcy, talked about that. Personal representative, talked about that. Person in possession of property, we talked about that. Of a decedent's estate, we talked about that. Listen, I ain't saying that they saying it, okay? Or debtor in possession of assets in any bankruptcy proceeding by other than the court. Just talked about how the process of how they receive bankruptcy is funny how they talking about it. Everything I just said is right here in the publication. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I read the whole thing already, right? And it's telling you how to sign. You don't sign it. The sum for the 46 goes to the person who's obligated to be the fiduciary to sign it. So you actually need to blank, okay? It says enter the title describing the role of the fiduciary, okay?
Gretchen said, "What's the name of the publication of the number?"
You can go to the. You have to go to IRS, and when it says forms, look up 56, and it'll give you the publication that goes with it. So, in other words, instructions for Form 56. The instructions are going to be what the publication is. Now, what happens is when you order these forms offline, they'll give you publications, and the publications are usually like 1212, publication 1212, which is going to be or general publication. So it'll be. Let me give you an example. This general is going to be. You just read this for every one of them. Okay, no matter what form we give you, read this publication. That's what I'm basically saying. Okay, publications, IRS, Internal Revenue Service. That's a good question because that sounds like somebody likes to read. Okay, here it is right here, publication 3, publication 15, 15A. Okay, so all these publications are right here. Okay.
Hey, Creek, I have a question. A friend of mine wanted to know, like with doing the authentication, her child is underage. She's just 11. She want to know, do she do the same thing that she's doing for herself or her child, or do they do that once they turn 18?
It's both. The answer is both. If you want to do one for your kid, you're totally fine to do that. She won't be able to use it until she's 18, but you can
Okay.
also put it on record. I double authenticated my daughter when she was 15. She just turned
Okay.
18 about 4 years ago. Okay, well, she just turned 18. And I did it 4 years before that. So now she's
Okay.
18, I just gave it to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that I hope that answers the thing. But the thing is this: if you're free, your kids are free. Your kids don't need anything. What you want to do is you want to be able to take that double. You want to be able to double authenticate their certificate of live birth. Okay, double authenticate that. Okay, once and when you get it back, when you get the double authentication back, you want to put an affidavit and activity on top of that. Okay. And what that does is goes in place of that. Basically, you're putting a claim on top of a claim. Okay, you know when you get a certificate of live birth, there's basically the state registers those, and you're basically the mother was selling. The story goes is that you know when you receive the birth certificate, the mother was selling her baby as a child to the state, right? Okay, well you can make an adverse claim to that and say, hey, you made a claim on my daughter. Well, I'm making a claim on top of that to counterclaim your claim, and you're going to do that with a birth nativity. Now you can go to scribe.com and look at some examples of nativity, affidavit, birth and nativities. Okay, and all it is just like a birth certificate. You fill it out, you put your daughter's name in there, and it's not in the all caps. Okay, it's natural. Okay, and then you just tie that with your double authentication, and then when you go to file it, anybody that got a copy of your, or that gets a copy of your certificate of live birth, or AKA the birth certificate, they're going to see another claim on top of the one that was claimed with. Okay, or you can do a declaration for your kids in places like what I did. I did one, but come to find out later on, I didn't need to do one. I didn't need to. Okay, if you're free, your kids are free. Remember that. Okay, but we know that we got social services out here. CPS is one of them, and you got to give them some type of documentation. So if you do, you want to give them anything. You want to give them that affidavit and activity. Okay, and you might want to slap that with the double authentication. Okay, and that way you're putting a claim on top of a claim. So even if they're going to process, say they're going to process facilitate some type of service using CPS, instead of trying to fight them, you can use that as paperwork to say, hey, I made a claim on top of that claim. Okay, and basically to say that, hey, your kids are not wards of the state, but you did accept the birth certificate, but you accepted it on behalf of not infringing on your rights. Okay, that's important to know. Okay, so you can still use the birth certificate, but letting them know, hey, listen, I'm an Indian, I'm not a citizen. So you're not just going to be able to just walk over me like a citizen, because I have the rights that are afforded to me, and they're protected by the Constitution. Okay, so now you can use the Constitution, which is on a federal level. Okay, so and that probably is more explanation that comes with that. That's kind of a process that I use. So hopefully that answers your question, because that's just exactly what I did, and I haven't had any problem. CPS don't want no parts of me. I guarantee you that. All right, I've already got a $15 million lien on them for when they was trying to mess with my kid's mother. And when I had the indictment papers set up to go to federal court, they dismissed her claim, took her out of the system to the point where she didn't even get food stamps no more. She had to go back and fill out, took her name all the way out of the system. They didn't even know who she was. Had to go back up to social services to go fill out a whole application for food stamps and everything. Okay, so because they didn't want no parts of any of what I was trying to do. Took her all the way out of the system. Okay, so when the process is right, you can still, like I said, you can still be a national or outside of the United States, play in their jurisdiction without being harmed. Okay, so and I give people both the option of doing that, because a lot of people get the wrong idea and think I'm trying to recreate your citizenship, and we ain't citizens, and we being disgruntled, and the enemy is the state, the enemy is the government. You're not getting nowhere doing that, because you don't have your own government and you ain't got no own land right now. So what are you gonna use? Okay, if you letting them pull the rug from up underneath you, okay, and you ain't got nowhere to stand, you can talk all that I ain't with the government sovereign crap all you want, but you ain't got no land and you ain't got no government. Then how you gonna be able to act in commerce? How you gonna be able to get to any other country outside of the United States to do deals and have trades or anything when you ain't got no standing? You got to be able to have some land first. You got to be able to be organized, and you got to be able to have a tribe that can talk to a government, or you need to have some type of government or an ambassador or somebody out of the tribe that can talk and communicate with the government, and that's how it's done. It's not done on an individual government basis, okay? What I'm trying to do is individualize everybody so that if they cut the head off the body, everybody can function without having the king there, like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. You kill them and everybody else is just running around, okay? The body can't function without the head. But if everybody got the same qualities, we all got decorations, we all got qualities of discharge, and we using commercial paper, we're not using money. It don't matter who they take out. They could take creek running water out, but guess what? All these videos and everything else, eventually if y'all catch up to where I'm at, you know what I mean? They're going to have a bigger problem with you, just the same size problem they have with you, they're going to have with me or anybody else. Okay, that's how it goes. I want to teach one to each one so we all can do it as an individual. And then when we do that, there ain't nothing else to do but come together. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that is going to come together is going to come together. And that's already, you see that already happening now. Okay. So anyway, I hope I answered your question. And it didn't kind of get you lost in that. But no, you can go ahead and do it. Go ahead and process the paperwork with the declaration and do your kids. But if you did yours, they really cool. You just need to get their double authentication with the that's what I was going to show you, with the birth nativity on it. You're going to have that you see affidavit of nativity. And see, churches use these. Okay, people with religions use these. You know, you got to remember, there's a separation between state and church. Okay, two different jurisdictions. Okay, now we know the churches rendered their jurisdiction over to the state by making a 501c3 and accepting a benefit. Okay, and you don't have to do that. Churches are already exempt from corporations automatically. Okay, but a lot of them take the 501c3 register as a way to corporate because it benefits both sides. The corporate can infringe on people that are Christian or church, and the churches get a kickoff. Right? They get a tax write-off. And they get benefits, right? 501c3. So you got an affidavit of fact and discovery. That's not what we're looking for, but we're gonna find what we're looking for. I'm gonna show you an example, something similar to what I did. Okay, and you want to do this for your babies. And if you already got a certificate of live birth, it's not too late. But if you're having a baby or you know somebody about to have a baby, you don't have to accept the birth certificate. I didn't accept mine. My daughters didn't get one. So I created their own. See right here, records of live birth. So you can create your own record of live birth. Okay, and then put your real description on it. Okay, take it out of the all caps. If you got if your daughter or your son got a tribal appellation or a handle, you want to put that name on there. Okay, it's just like a declaration. Okay, you're declaring something. Okay. I would take this one, copy it, and just redo it, and then print it out, and take an hour or so and kind of reconstruct how you want it to look on your computer. You can use Word to do that. See, and then it says the name of the person right there, improper persona and juris, proper solo, improper something, and then the name right there in the all caps, the name of the hospital in Jersey, and then it says all in there. The father is this, the mother is that. You know what I mean? Then two places where they signed a witness right there. That's it. And then they took around and took to see the record of birth. They took what they got from the hospital, it looks like, and they put that with that. See? Registered vital statistics, same just what I just told you. You making it, they made a claim on you, you take that, you could make a claim. Ain't nothing stopping you from contract. Okay? Well, read the Constitution. You have unlimited right to contract. That's correct. You have the right to contract. Okay, they cannot take away your right to contract. They may don't respect you, but then they can go to when they violate your rights. Okay, now you can use your Constitution to back up your play, and then take them in a federal court and sue them for Title 18, Title 28, all day long. Okay, because you already told them that it's against your religious morals, belief to accept a certificate of live birth, and you got one, but upon receiving it, I seen where there was some inaccuracies. You can do that with a cover letter and say, hey, listen, my baby's not black. You got Negro right here, but my baby's not Negro. So I corrected that statement by saying she was Indian. Okay. And they have to respect that because, see, the burden of proof is on the person that asserts the claim. So if they made a claim and said you was black, they got to prove it. If they made an adverse claim on top of yours to say you ain't no Indian, they got to prove it. Just saying you ain't Indian ain't enough. Now I came up with some proof. It's your turn to prove it. That's it. The burden of proof is on the person that asserts the claim. Okay? So this is a perfect example of what I was telling you right here. All right? Yeah, we gotta protect our babies. So you fill out the 56 form here. I already did one. You see right here, my unredacted. Boom. Who did I make the fiduciary? Chief Financial Advisor, the Chief Financial Officer of the Q Smart. He's going to be the one to facilitate the check. I'm giving you the check. You be the fiduciary. Do what you're supposed to do with it, okay? I'm going to give you, 3 to 4 weeks limited power of attorney for all related commercial transactions right here. Check box, select the authority. Do this with a 56 form of IRS. The IRS is receiving the note, so they want to see if you know what you're doing. That's all, okay? Nature of liability and taxes, 1040V, the 1040, the 1096, and the 1099A. And I should put 8681 up there because you need to use that too if you're going to use 1099A or the C, which is discharge. Okay? So I know we're going to have some more questions, but I just kind of zipped through here because I want to be done. I said I was going to be done about 40-something minutes ago. I lied. Excuse me. I didn't lie. It was my intentions to stop, but I just kept going. We still got people in the chat, though. So, and I put the Inspector General as a substitute fiduciary. So, and he works for the Department of Treasury. Okay, so I looked up and seen who the inspector was, what his job description was. Okay, and I know he handles and facilitates things on behalf of people, come in, or tax advisors, stuff like that, or taxpayers or something like that. He's like administrator. Okay, so hey, you handle it. If they ain't gonna see with something ain't right, handle it. And I left it right here for them to sign it. But when you go into the instructions, it says if they don't sign it, you give it to them. It's what? Tacit consent. They accept it. Why? How did they accept it? Because I sent the letters and they didn't send it back. They didn't say it was wrong. They didn't say nothing was frivolous. There wasn't no defects on the instrument or anything. So they accepted it in good faith. I wait 3 weeks. The 4th week after that, they said nothing. The Treasury will start processing it as tacit consent because nobody said anything. Okay, you get acceptance through non you get acceptance through not saying anything, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'll give you a notary right there of acknowledgement. Okay, to and fro. I gave the fiduciary all the rights of what he's supposed to do, discharge my debt. You can use the ACH. Right here, the fiduciary is hereby authorized to ledger the IRS Form 1099A. Hereafter, information returned enclosed in here within the principal of the beneficiary hereby identify the performance of the fiduciary in regards to the authority granted herein the duties. I'm giving him rights to use my note and do what he needs to do to discharge that. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and notarize that. And right here, I put all the enclosures. Okay, accepted for value. The Great American, that's the original contract. I accepted that for value. I'm giving it back. Accepted the storage rental agreement. That was the original contract. The invoice, which shows that it was a debt. The affidavit of enclosement of presentment, the letter I read to you earlier. The fiduciary appointment, right there, is showing you the authorization that we just read. 1099A form. It's not on this one, but it's on the other one. I had the 1099A. I actually did it on this one, but this is what I did, and I photocopied it, so it's not on this one. Okay. But you see me when I fill out the 1099A form. It's basic. Okay, it'll say your name here, name of the person who's paying, blah, blah, blah. Title Form 56 and the W-9 form, which requests the tax identification number of the person. If they don't fill out or sign anything and they accept it, then it's accepted. Okay, you wait 30 days, 4 weeks after that's been accepted. And you always want to do your notes 30 days before that. Don't wait till like a week or a day before you pay the bill. That's going to be too late. Okay. So anyway, like I promised, I'm done. We're going to go ahead and continue. If there's any other questions, if not, we're going to go ahead and finish this off. As already, Done deal. Okay. Nobody saying anything. Okay. So, and you also want to do an affidavit of notary presentment. So that, remember I told you I had a notary as a witness. So I give this to the notary. He looks at everything that was in there. He signs it right here. Say, yeah, everything that was in there. He said it was in there. Okay, that's my witness. He's going to be the officer of the court. Okay. That's what we got going on. Lito.
KSR says quick steps on starting a declaration.
Say it again.
Quick steps on starting your declaration.
The declaration, you got to go back and watch the video. Watch video number 1, Empress Hobart. I'll break it all the way down on how to do the declaration in 6 steps. Because that's going to be long-winded. That'll be like another 30 minutes to try to break all 6 steps for it down. But you go back and watch the video, play it back.
Yeah, go to the one that's on my other channel. I don't have it over here. It's on the other channel.
On the original Copper Empress channel, the one that's flagged.
You got Creek?
Peace. 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 All right. Anybody got any questions? Anything else? It don't matter what, as long as it's about commerce, contract, something. Declaration, statutory claim, IRS, the notes, how long it take, something, anything. Okay.
Oh, I think of somebody. I'll contact you.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work. South Wind. I see you again in the building. Peace.
Anybody got anything to ask him before he goes? Look at my phone because my one is moving faster than the other.
Yeah. You probably got half of the audience that you usually get because they didn't know that you moved and didn't get the alert. But they'll see it, over time. They'll see where you posted the video.
No questions so far. I don't see anything, Creek.
Okay.
What time do you want me to set it for Wednesday?
We can do 7:30. And now that you already told me that they're screwing up with the time. So, but yeah, we'll make sure we get it in a little earlier and try to get it down with just an hour, no more than an hour and a half.
Yeah. He what's your channel? Any Creek Running Water?
Yeah, it's Creek Running Water. Yep. Just put in Creek Running Water. Subscribe. We're gonna have that. We're gonna work on trying to get this Patreon site up, so we can make more things exclusive. And because a lot of people there's a lot of time in between and waiting for Monday to Wednesday to do stuff. Some people want to be able to have access to a website where they can go and just do their own form or look out for or I'm gonna have questions, a Q&A or whatever, or past videos where they can just go to one site and get all that. We construct that right now, so that's coming. Okay,
Ancient Soul say, is it too late to file the paperwork?
File what paperwork?
What paperwork, Ancient Soul?
No, it's not too late. It's not too late to file the statutory declaration. But when you go to Title 26, Section 31306, it tells you, except for, and it goes into time of a state of emergency. Okay, but that's fine. But if they're online and they're doing it, that means they're still accepting. Remember the word. If they're going to accept the contract, now they're still open for business online, and online is private.
Yeah.
So the private side is still open. Now, when you read these statutes, you got to remember this for the public. It's for the citizens. It's public. Okay. Now, when you private, you can create a remedy for yourself if there's not one that's afforded to you. Okay. And even though we know this, they've declared state of emergency okay, we still have to be able to facilitate. So if it's something that needs to get done, if they're able to do it online and they accept the contract, then it's done. Then it's not too late.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what that is right there. Right.
All righty.
Okay, I think that's it.
We'll
So,
be back Wednesday at the same time at 7:30 over here. On this channel. Like I said, we'll be doing this over and when my other channel come back, we'll go back over there as well. But for right now, we'll be over here on this channel.
yep, that's how we're doing it, bro. T1 Production, what up? I see
Thanks everybody for coming out and
Colleen McLean, peace.
yes, thank everyone.
Chad, I see you. Salute. All right, peace, y'all.
Hey, before you go, Creek, Kiwanis want to know how long do the process take, Creek?
The process for statutory declaration, you can do it all in one day if you want to.
He said you could do it all in one day, Kiwanis, if you got to.
The double authentication takes usually a week to 2 weeks. And depending on how you want to do that, because it depends on the amount of how fast the postage moves from where you at. So in other words, if you need to send it out to go get it double authenticated to the United States Department of State and at your home Secretary of State, I would advise you, drop it at delivery if they've taken it in. So some places have just started accepting where you can come in and do some documentation or online. But if you do that, you got to send it there. Just send a priority mail or next day mail.
Okay.
And then you can get it within a week and a half. I got somebody the other day. I don't know how he did it, but he's from Mississippi. His brother got his he got his certificate of live birth in one day. The next day he called him and told him he needed to get it expedient because he's trying to work, and they for one reason why he got to have that so he can work. They sent it to him the next day, so he can get done. You just tell them you need to authenticate. Pay for the authentication. That's like $5. Okay.
But to start off, when you're doing authentication, how many birth certificates do you recommend that we have?
A minimum of 2. A minimum. That way you can do one. Remember I told you got Hague and non-Hague.
Yes.
Certification and apostille. You want to get one apostille and you want to get one certified. One is in a jurisdiction.
Okay. Got it. Ooh, any more questions, y'all, before we get out of here?
Right. Just hit me up on the email. Y'all got any questions?
Yeah, put your email in the chat form, Creek, if they got any questions. And like I said, we'll be back Wednesday night at 7:30 again.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat real quick. Slow. Just froze up. That's something else. Let's see. What is the chat where you at? I mean, you're not on your
put it in the public chat, the one that not the back chat, but the out here where everybody can see it.
I don't see where I can do that. I just see it says private chat and comments. How do I put it in the comments?
You probably can do it. Can you do it from your phone or because you're on your computer? Because what I do is I have my phone and my computer.
Wait a minute. Are you on the private chat? Are you in the back chat?
Tell me your email. I'll put it in.
Okay. I got it in the private chat.
Okay. Let me see if I can.
Put it in there.
Yeah. I don't even see it.
Oh no, I just messed up. Okay, I just said it.
There you go. That's it.
All right, that's it. I got a good one. That was a good one there, boy, because y'all can always play that back. There's a lot of good, valuable information.
There's his email, y'all.
Yeah, hit my email up. I'll take care of you. Whatever we need to do, we can set up a consultation. Consultation is just for an hour. We go through everything, an on-screen tutorial. You get a copy of the consultation with the video. We send that to you. I share my screen, you share your screen, get into the documentation. And I haven't had any bad consultations. I haven't had, all mine been 100% approval rate, all of them, for the last 2 years I've been doing this. Okay? That's just to give you a surety. If I can't do it, I'll either refer you to somebody who can, and we just do it like that. Because I don't do everything, but I will look into what it is that you need to get done. And if it needs a consultation, we can do that. Sometimes you won't even need a consultation. We just figure it out in the email, ask your question, I'll send you back and forth. That's it.
But thanks everybody for coming out. I'm figuring it. Lay it down.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. We'll be back Wednesday, like you said. We'll be back Wednesday at 7:30. So tune in, everyone. Everyone have a good, a masterful rest of this season. All right, Creek.
Okay. All right.
All right. Peace.